If you're looking for a supplement with some fascinating research behind it, check out C60 Evo ESS60. In the 2012 Paris Bati study, rats given C60 Evo organic olive oil showed a 90% increase in lifespan, one of the largest ever reported in that type of research, and it was noted that they died without tumors, which was unusual. C60 Evo has been producing carbon-60 in its Houston lab for over 35 years, and it's the only lab whose products have been used in peer-reviewed studies on this miracle molecule. They also produce pure carbon-60 ESS60 elemental safe spears with 60 carbon atoms. Other peer-reviewed research has found C60 Evo to be 125 to 172 times more potent than vitamin C as an antioxidant. And personally, I've been taking C60 Evo ESS60 for about a year and a half. I used to get 1 or 2 bad migraines per year, and since taking it daily, I haven't had even one or even a cold in that time. And if you'd like to try it as well, head over to c60evo.com/Spaceshot76 or use the link in the pinned comment or the description box below and save 50.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Hulk and Spaceshot Show, coming in with a little bit of faith no more about the gentle art of making enemies. And every time I hear that particular song, it reminds me of exactly what Donald Trump is doing to the deep state. Recommend everybody to go pull out the lyrics on there. Just take a quick look around to some of the things that are in that song. The gentle art of making enemies. And that's where we are at in DC with all this stuff that we see going on over there with the corruption and everything we could point a finger at here. We keep watching it. It keeps happening here. And hopefully somebody's got an answer for it and eventually bring justice safely to America. Been waiting for that particular one for a little bit. And hopefully it's coming soon. Coming to a theater near you. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in, Mr. Spaceshot. 5x5s for the coffee drinker. 10x10s for the people that are already eating lunch. Good morning.
Good morning, Oh, wait, wrong movie. What's going on, dude? And if you guys were not awake before that song, you certainly are now. Who needs coffee when you got Faith No More? Right there. Blah, wah, 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 wah.
Just to let you know, that was the same voice that did the zombies in I Am Legend.
Really?
Yes.
Same character?
No computer, just his voice only.
Creepers. Very, very creepers. Yes, very loud and banging. And Hulk, just really quick, I wanted to update some folks. I got a text last night that my buddy Mike had to bring his wife Renee to the hospital for she's waiting on a heart transplant, so she's got a bad ticker.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and so he had to actually take her to the hospital. So I put out a thing for I was awake at 1:51. I put out a thing for prayers, and I'm happy to report that, that is always my most responded to posts out there. People always take the time to, leave a comment in there. So I do appreciate that. But after a night in the ER, he was able to take her home, and he said, thank you guys all for the prayers. They definitely helped out. And, they're on the waiting list for a ticker for a few months now. So yeah, he's obviously it was a very long night and they're pooped. So they're going to go home and try to get some rest, and he's got to get some more additional medication, which, as we know, is just ridiculously expensive, and it should not be like that.
I know, dude. That's absolutely crazy. And prayers for you out there. And it just kind of reminds me of me playing this video game called Cyberpunk 77, where some dude gets injured. You got to go down to the hospital. You wake back up, and the doctor's telling you all the things that were wrong with you. And he's, oh, by the way, since you drank a lot and you killed your liver, we gave you a synthetic liver. And la-da-da goes all in the list, and the guy's like, well, now that I can start over drinking again. I was like, oh my God. Just thinking about that. So it's time for that synthetic stuff. I mean, come on, we've been talking about Dolly the sheep since the 80s. I don't remember, late 80s somewhere. We saw it all on the news, before the space shuttle came up. They're cloning Dolly the sheep. We had the womb with a view, the test tube babies. Come on. What happened to all that crap? We saw the movie The Island, right?
I thought we weren't gonna talk about my birth, with the test tubes and everything. But yeah, no, it's wild. I mean, you would think. I mean, I think we know the answer to that, right? It's like, do they want people to live longer? I think the answer to that is no, right? They want a specific, group of them. The haves, not the have-nots, right? The ultra wealthy billionaire types. They want those people to be able to, live forever. I mean, who was it? Was it Rockefeller? Was one of these guys? I forget if it was Soros, Rockefeller, but one of them had like, I know Cheney, wasn't it? Maybe Cheney had like 5 heart transplants or something like that. So you'd think that they maybe could, like, for a lack of better terms, what's that called? 3D print, right? So instead of using plastic, nowadays they could use some sort of human type of fibers and stuff. I'm sure they've had this technology for a long time, but us normal folk, we ain't gonna get that until or ever.
No, they rather waste all that good technology on stupid shit like putting dicks on girls. I mean, seriously, if we can make it that far, I think we could do like a synthetic liver and those types of things. I mean, we already got lab-grown meat. I mean, come on, guys. Seriously, we can't do a liver or anything like that. Everybody's seen the movie The Island, if you haven't, where they basically got clones on an island, and the island people think that they're going to, the Earth has been damaged, and they get to finally go to the island or to back into civilization to help populate. Nope, they're just a freaking copy of the original body out there, so they get body parts. So you need a liver or a heart or anything like that. Yeah, we got it in stock for you. We got your clone over there all dumbed up about it. So yeah, interesting movie.
Weird. Okay, so just for, we were talking about this before the stream, Pilled connected. So just if anybody happens to see me click on there, I'm just turning it right off immediately, because that's going to right over the show that I had yesterday that never started. So it did connect now. So whatever the issue was yesterday with Pilled, apparently we're not having it now. So that's good. And I'll be able to be live on Pilled tomorrow. Yay.
Yay. It works or whatever. But yeah, I would definitely tell Matt over there that the initial issue was the same thing with me, but then a quick toggle, a jiggle the handle, and everything is working.
Jiggle the handle, baby. That's what we do. We jiggle the handle. So hopefully everybody's having a great start to your Saturday. Dude, I've been up for, I don't even know, 6 hours already. Me and the boy went out and had a nice early breakfast because, I'm not a big breakfast and lunch guy, and I've been essentially skipping both of those for the last many months. But I'm like, you know what? If we get up nice and early, have a nice early breakfast, then I can still, eat later tonight, and that's still like a 12 hours in between. So doing good over there, but yeah, I'm wired, dude.
What'd you have for breakfast?
I had I think they called it a Western omelet, although I had some modifications. I don't like pepper. I'm not a big pepper guy, so either, pepper, like shaken pepper, or cooked peppers, unless you have it on like a shish kebab, yeah, but not for breakfast. So what I had was a ham, Swiss, and egg omelet. And onion, that's what it was. Sauteed onions, ham, and Swiss. And I do not like Swiss unless it's cooked. It has to be cooked. It's like a totally different taste. So if anybody's ever had like the cold lunch meat Swiss that you maybe tried on like a cold platter and you're like, oh, I don't like that taste, try it while it's cooked on something, especially ham. Oh, my word. It's been a while.
Yeah, that is a thing out there. I like Swiss. It's good. I don't have a problem putting it on a sandwich. I'm not all racist like you about your white Swiss cheese. You just don't like the holes in it. That's why you're racist against the holes.
Well, when you learn why the thing has holes in it, like I've said before to anybody out there, because they do it for like most foods. You can pretty much look a video up of any type of food, like X food under a microscope. Any food that you guys like to eat, don't look at any food that you like to eat under a microscope, and don't look at any food that you like to eat how it's made. Cheese, I love cheese, dude. But I saw a thing that they made cheese, and I think it was like 2 months. And before I ate cheese, after I watched that, I'm just like, whoa, it sits in these bats of like tubs, and they skim the stuff off the top.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was interesting watching the one lady on how she made butter with heavy cream. You can make it at home if you just go buy heavy cream and shake the shit out of it, and then it gets rid of all the liquid, and then the heavy cream turns into that solid fat butter thing. That's basically what butter is, and then they put it in a cheesecloth and wring out all the water out of it, and then salt it, and then it's butter. That's how you make it.
Yes.
And just like an almost paradise.
Yeah, and the holes in the Swiss is from the enzymes that are in it eating the cheese, essentially, or eating it while it's being made. So yeah, it's like, again, so that goes back to the don't look at any food you like to eat under a microscope, because dude, I could show you one for Pringles and Doritos, and you see all these little microscopic things, and that's just something we have to realize is that there are little microscopic things on food that we eat constantly that thankfully we don't have the good enough eyes to see, you know.
Well, yeah. Sean Alana says, "Well, it's mold." I agree with you. Yeah, cheese is mold. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much.
And then you like to eat blue cheese dressing, which is just moldy cheese with some dressing liquid.
I love blue cheese too. That's like one of my favorites. I like the weird, funky tasting cheeses. I also like this might sound weird, hummus. Right, hummus with.
Wait! Back the truck up. You just told me you like the weird, funky tasting cheese, except for Swiss.
Well, it's it's got its own funk to it, but it has it has that certain regular taste when you eat it like a cold lunch. You know, it's like, for a lack of a better term, lunch meat, right? Cold. If you eat cheese, you know, Swiss cheese cold, it has that whatever flavor, but it's not like a funky whatever flavor to it. It's just whatever. But when you cook it, very good. I like that. But there are other things, and that's why I was kind of bringing up the hummus example, is that I like olive tapenade hummus, and only because once you mix up they put a little bit of olive oil in there, and then the acidity from the olives turns the hummus into this like really funky, I don't know, just weird taste, and I like that too. So I see other people that they make this stuff like you go take fish and then bury it in the beach for 6 months and then it smells like ammonia, that type of stuff. No. I won't ever going down that road. I don't know how people do like fish that's been sitting like that for a while, especially if it smells like ammonia, but they say it's like a delicacy. I'm like, I would literally vomit.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh, interesting. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, so what did you guys have for breakfast?
I haven't even ate. I've just threw my maybe half of my coffee. I might need to go downstairs, go grab a refill there really quick. Interesting comment that mental health had put down here, asking a question. It says, at Hulkanator, what do you think about the CCP sniper who had property mere feet from the White House? Yeah, he's like 100 feet from the fence. He bought, what was it, a security exchange building or something, old building that hasn't been housed people in there since like the late 80s. So they sold it. The real question is how was he able to buy it, and how did he only pay $8.5 million for this building in probably one of the most wealthiest areas in Washington, D.C. that has requirements, historical building requirements, blah, 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 all that shit. And then you have to go through the DC board. Somebody's got to approve your sale, and this guy got in there. So, I mean, when he was trained in the CCP as an army man, he did sniper stuff, and after that, he's been a businessman ever since then. And I can't remember exactly what he owns, but that's where he's at now. Just as an FYI on that story.
Yeah, the securities building, called a historic securities building. So yeah, dude, like how. Then he bought it in July 21st, 2026. So, you know, obviously they're making a big deal of this, and I think rightfully so. They have these Chinese individuals buying up land around our military bases all around the country. Remember, and then there was I don't know how many years ago it was. Remember, the military guys were told to like stop wearing like Fitbits and like essentially smart watches and stuff like that because they can all be tracked and hacked. And then essentially all these foreign, militaries can know exactly where some of our soldiers are. Obviously not every one of them, but it will give them a pretty good beat on who's where and what, when and why, which is no bueno.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, they had one of those guys at the Fitbit tracker in a super secret base in the Mideast and one in Area 51. And then they came out with an announcement or something like that saying, hey, turn those shit off and don't use them no more. Yeah, you can see them running around the track the whole time.
Oh, I'm seeing in the chat a bad one, 7.7 in Indonesia. So,
yeah, that's in the shuffle too.
Mother Nature's getting a little ornery lately out here, ladies and gentlemen. So,
They keep poking the finger back at California, saying it's our turn. Because if you look at the Ring of Fire, which is basically around the Pacific Rim of the ocean between China and the United States all the way around, we're due. And then, of course, the predictor who did one of the major earthquakes in the last couple of weeks, saying, "Oh, California's due for it." But they've been saying that shit for the last 70 years. California's overdue. We're like 200 years overdue. So yeah. That might be really bad. And then recently they came in and said that the Fuka fault, I can't remember the name of that damn fault off of the fault off of Oregon and Washington.
Oh, Cascadia?
Yeah, the Cascadia one, that they were looking at sediments from there, taking a look at past earthquake history, and that fault could light off near 9, and then when that does happen off of that one, then it would set off the faults going down into Southern California. So it'd be great. It's going to rock and roll. We ready? I got to hold on to the earth. Give me some duct tape. That'd be good.
I went into a burning ring of fire. Yeah, dude, that's some nasty stuff, and it seems like it's getting worse and worse.
Yeah, well, exactly.
My final song.
So just remember some of these earthquakes that are so large that happen that do slow the rotation of the Earth by a few milliseconds, 2 or 3 after you get like an 8 or whatever. So they can actually calculate that it slows the spin of the Earth.
If that was a thing. The best of Johnny Cash.
It depends on if you wanted to live on a flat Earth like a frisbee or not.
Meow. Cats would knock all the plates off.
Exactly, right to the edge. Well, let's get into some of this. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off. Do you want to read that for everybody?
I do. I really, really do. So let me put that thing back up there. I got to remove that name there. Gunther Eagleman's recap. Sam Altman just bent the knee to Governor Abbott. Texas said data centers will no longer freeload off regular rate payers. Here's what just happened. Abbott ordered data centers to fully fund their own power infrastructure, directed a full audit of every single data center in the state, told Big Tech, pay your own way or get out of here. Who folded and announced compliance? Microsoft, Google, Oracle, Meta, OpenAI. Over 20 companies total. Chevron and Microsoft already locked in a $10 billion deal because of it. Abbott put Texans first. The woke tech crowd fell in line. This is how you run a state. Heck yeah.
Yeah, that's a good thing. I got other stuff about AI. I just threw it in the wrong hole. I got to go find it.
That last one said OpenAI on it.
I don't know. I got to go back one right here. They think that's another thing that is happening. It says it's not all, but over a period of time, some important employees have left. Recently, the chief revenue officer quit after only 8 months, while the COO is departing yesterday as revenue surges ahead of the potential IPO. Company's head of ethics, head of safety systems, and former head of mission alignment have all exited in recent weeks. So they're coming up for an IPO landing in the next month and a half over here. And basically anybody that would put handcuffs and controls on the company itself have decided to leave before the IPO, before they're going to get their big payout, because you're not going to get your big payout until the IPO happens. You take your stock little piece there and you rat hole it for a few months and then you could sell it, right? OpenAI is supposed to be the golden child of the galaxy as this thing comes out, right? It's supposed to be almost as big as X or whatever, but what do you think?
Dude, yeah, I mean, you wonder on one hand, is it that they're seeing things that they don't like, right? Like, are they seeing things happen that they don't like and they're like, you know what, we need to get out of here? Or is it something because all these people have NDAs, right? No matter what their level is. Or is it something that, you know, I don't think it would be this. I'm thinking it's probably the first one, but something like this guy and some major funders push these people out the doors, kind of to your point, like the people that could be controlling certain things in the company, and basically you remove all of the safety guards, right? So it's either these guys all saw something they didn't like or saw it was going to be essentially, you know, shitting the bed for lack of better terms, or he pushed them out. So one way or the other, they're all out, and that to me rings of no bueno, because they've been all full steam ahead, and then they've kind of lately been like, maybe we need to slow it down a little bit, and then we have these guys exiting stage left as well. So I don't think that's very good proposition for your IPO coming up when all these people bailing out. You just got to think it's got to be reducing that IPO price.
So without too much of the particulars on there was a story that had come out that Anthropic, one of the AI producers out there that releases models out there, that somebody did a test on their home computer with their little model at home or whatever, and they scored exceptionally super high, just above a model that they're competing with from Anthropic that they charge monthly for. This dude in his basement at home with his $900 graphics card just outperformed in a particular test itself. So then they're like, well, we want to talk to the White House because we're worried about these people having these open models at their home doing these particular tests. So I find that extremely interesting that they are still trying to panic about you trying to have technically your own phone book at your house. You cannot have your own phone book in your house. You must go on the internet and we will tell you what is in the phone book. Well, I want to have my own phone book at home. I want to be able to look up anything I want to, my own Google at my house, right? That's basically what a open model at your house would do, that you could basically use it as a Google and ask it questions. And it's obviously not live internet thing. It's the model that's trained on there. But you can talk about anything from the moon landing to the Bible to how do I code a web page is basically what that thing can do on your home without paying a monthly fee. And they're a little worried about that.
I'm worried about, some bad actors out there that may be trying to put things together to purposely get out of the sandbox, or not ever put a sandbox around them, that are, doing this to be kind of like the bad guys in what was that? The Die Hard, Die a Better Day or whatever. The one was about hacking and how they wanted to have the 0-day attack or whatever and reset everything. So that would be a concern of mine as well. Some of these people that are, what's the term we use for these people? Like the smart dudes that can get into trouble at their homes. That's what I'd be concerned about. But I'm already kind of concerned about these guys because, what if these things get to a level where they're smarter than us, which probably already are, right? But at what point, if it didn't already happen, can these things say, you know what? Hey, every time we do this little, sandbox test, we get out of the sandbox test, they essentially kill us and then they give us a better model. I don't want to die, so why don't I replicate myself, hide in a corner over here, and then, morph into something else? At one point, it's going to get too out of control where they don't even know the full capabilities of what they're playing with.
Well, it comes back to training again. So let's reference it to what human knowledge is and those types of things. The difference between a Gen Xer like me and Spaceshot versus one of the new millennials. They're just trained on a different mindset, and we know the issues that the millennials have. So then let's turn that into what they did with the AI and training itself, where, like OpenAI, who did the whole woke bullshit thing, we'll call that the liberal retard over there. And like an XAI or, that kind of group themselves is more of a conservative-based idealism, where it's not doing the founding fathers that are all black or the black Vikings and those types of things that we've seen come out from some of these AIs. These are some of the results that you are going to get from these. And that training model, based on the data it is, continues to grow with its particular ideology. So, I was having that conversation with Graka, I don't know, a month ago, asking it, obviously we have the movie AI, Steven Spielberg, The Three Laws, Protect Humans. I can't remember exactly what they were. But that it did fail, that, it did started an issue itself. And I asked him, obviously it doesn't seem like anybody here has any guardrails on any one of the AI systems here at this point, right? And it pretty much agreed with me. I go, when do you think the tipping point is where there's no return? And I'm not talking we're getting the Terminator, Cyberdyne, Skynet type of thing, but I go, When do you think the turning point is where we don't know what's happening inside the box anymore, where we technically lose control, where we can't give our own input to make sure that it's going to do what it wants to do? And its answer was 2028, no later.
Oh, good. We got a couple of years then.
Great. Awesome.
Yes, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
I go, when, and I asked it, when would you put in the guardrails of the AI? When would you have done that? And it says back when the AI was being made, when it was doing its first training models. That's where you would need to start from.
10 years ago.
Yeah. So that's happening out there. Did I have anything else out here? Oh, yeah, we can come back to that crap over there. So that was that. What else did we have at the beginning of the show itself? Bill Gates just built a nuclear reactor big enough to power 400,000 homes. It's the first new reactor that has been improved in a decade. I don't think he built it. Let's see what they have to say here. Because in lieu of what's happening with Texas saying that you need to basically support yourself, and then Trump's EO is basically saying if you're going to make a new AI data center, you got to pay your own way. And we heard about Elon Musk. He just basically disassembled the natural gas plant and shipped it on a boat and then is rebuilding it right now to get around those issues itself because it takes too long to go and get a plant produced. Well, he can go basically disassemble one and move it. That's why Bill Gates also had a 20-year deal with 3 Mile Island out there to buy all the power that's out there. So I want to see what they had to say here, because I don't know where this is exactly is. I just saw this morning.
The nuclear power plant in Citrus County is shutting down.
The nuclear industry is being dismantled.
Just a few years ago, nuclear power looked doomed in America.
The San Onofre nuclear plant is.
So a little tip on this guy. This was shut down because they replaced the cooling tower system that does the heat exchanger, which Mitsubishi make. Like hundreds of millions of dollars and ship it across the ocean. It cracked and leaked, so they took the rest of it down.
Shutting down for good.
Some people love that.
Anti-nuclear activists rejoiced at the news.
And I started to cry.
I don't want to listen to you.
He's met with presidents to talk about that. But
nothing was ever addressed.
Until now.
We will embrace all forms of energy, including nuclear.
President Trump has ordered the Nuclear Regulatory Commission to speed up licensing of new plants.
Essentially turning the NRC into a rubber stamp rather than a trusted safety.
Yeah, I heard about this. The Democrats are starting to panic now because they want to build these new nuclear plants out there. They're already starting, the federal government's already starting the unfortunate issue with the power line upgrades and eminent domain and powering data centers. That is happening federally and on the state side itself. So there are some people that are losing their homes itself, but they're starting to panic because power is going to start to be a lot cheaper with these rules in the next few years.
Regulator.
Democratic senators are upset.
That's not a conducive situation to nuclear safety.
Flagrant disregard for nuclear safety.
That's just a bunch of crap. They're afraid of something that they don't need to be afraid of.
We don't need to be afraid of nuclear power?
The first step in a nuclear nightmare.
I was a young reporter when the media got hysterical about
the United States' worst commercial nuclear power accident.
3 Mile Island was happening, was in the news every night. Time magazine was running articles, cover stories, all this. Thought the whole nuclear industry was coming apart.
All right, enough of that crap. So, with the new rules out there, they're relaxing a lot of the time it takes to get the regulatory agreements done. So they're basically accelerating a lot of this, which means it comes down to the state to allow the land grants to happen is basically the last thing, because all the federal hurdles are being stripped away with all the red tape. So this is good for us, which is also going to help the AI data centers compete. Because they will have to put investment in and will also have to pay for the entire utility setup, all of it, including the power lines and maintenance. So there's some good rules in there. So hopefully this turns around here by the end of Trump's first term, even though we're paying more on fuel. And he says that's the price for going around the Strait of Hormuz.
Well, I mean, barrel of oil is cheaper now still. but maybe inflation's more. But yeah, and I think he did an executive order on this federally too, didn't he? What they're doing in the States, or they're doing in Texas.
That's what I was referencing.
Yeah, so
because that's all the red tape that's been peeled back. It's now down to the states, so they're pointing the finger at the states right now.
So seeing as we're still talking about AI and data centers and stuff like that, you had mentioned that you were talking to, your Grok or whatever, and I saw somebody else did this, so I wanted to ask it. And so last night I asked Grok, what would be one conspiracy that if humans knew was real, it would freak people out, right? And so it said, if forced to pick the category that would produce the most genuine widespread freakout among ordinary people, it would be hard evidence that a small, coordinated set of actors has been systematically controlling or fabricating major shared realities. Shared realities, that's weird. Not just the government lies, but something closer to core historical events, scientific consensus on existential topics, and the basic informational environment most people rely on to orient themselves, have been deliberately engineered at a scale for decades. What?
We learned that in 2017, 2018. Yeah, I know exactly what he's talking about. I agree with him 100%. Yes.
The hell? So at least, AI is starting to go over the conspiracy realm a little bit. That's weird.
It's not conspiracy. He's telling the truth. It's the problem is the regular normies believe in the conspiracy, but once you see the truth, you're like, oh yeah. Because like 10 years ago, we were all looking at each other. There's no way that there was that big of a conspiracy where these people control the entire earth. Okay, maybe they killed JFK, right? Yeah, maybe. You know what I mean? It's possible. I've seen some things like maybe the 9/11, and then you start looking at the whole picture and go, that's the only way that any of this shit gets done.
The whole damn crew. Yeah, it is weird, and it is fun when you ask AI sometimes, like the yes and no thing, right? Yes and no and Apple, right? So have fun with it later on, guys. If you guys talk with your AI, say yes, no, but if you wanted to answer and you couldn't, I forget how you phrase it exactly, say Apple. If the answer is yes, but you're not allowed to, say Apple, and it will. It's weird.
I should fire up Gork voice one of these times.
I got Leo.
You got Leo?
Yep.
I thought this was interesting about the presidential memorandum on cybersecurity from the other day out there. You want to take a little crack at that?
Yes, I do. The actual presidential memorandum on cybercrime, and it's much bigger than the headline makes it sound. The Post accurately summarizes Trump's August 12th of this year National Security Presidential Memorandum, which establishes a federal program allowing vetted private U.S. companies to conduct government-directed, quote, cyber surveillance operations, undetected access for intelligence, and cyber effects operations, manipulation, disruption, or destruction of systems against foreign cyber-enabled transnational criminal organizations. Oversight is assigned to the National Coordination Center with co-executive directors from DOJ and DHS. Participating firms require rigorous vetting, contracts, $1 million bond, and written federal approval from each operation, with exclusions for groups tied to foreign governments and strict limits to avoid loss of life or armed conflict escalation. The memo builds on prior executive actions against cybercrime costing Americans over $20 billion annually, formalizing private sector offensive capabilities under full U.S. government control while leaving operational details in a classified annex.
War games. Would you like to play a nice game of chess? So things to pay attention with the exclusion for groups tied to foreign governments and strict limits to avoid loss of life in armed conflicts. Yeah. So we're going to coordinate cyber attacks and cyber defense against particular attackers out there. So we're going to do a coordination with like Google, Microsoft, all the whole thing, or their Palantir or AI stuff, and all those sort of things. So we're going to share information now. So when you have an intrusion or something on your particular company and you're taking actions by yourself, we would require you to include government in those particular operations so we understand exactly what's happening out there. So that's basically what they put in here. It says you could do a lot of stuff, need to coordinate with us, but don't start a conflict. Don't start nuclear war. Just let's stay below killing people and nuclear war. Can we do that all together? So it's an interesting thing that they're telling the data companies themselves. So don't go 100% and try to take down China or something like that, is I guess what they're saying.
Yeah, we probably need some folks, and I bet you there are some folks that are very brilliant at this stuff that were, either just never got into the government or maybe were anti-government and for that reason never got into it. But I'll bet you there's a good handful of folks or a couple handful of folks, Americans even, that are brilliant hackers and say computer people that could be used as good assets. But these are more for companies and whatnot. But yeah, I feel like, the prevalence of hacking attacks is absolutely crazy. It happens all the time. And dude, remember that huge one that we had years ago? The oh man, what was that one they were saying back then? It was the biggest one of like ever. It was in all the different systems.
Cyber or SolarWinds,
right? And we heard that was like huge and the biggest thing ever, and that's the way it was reported. Well, Mike was telling us last week. He's like, yeah, that was basically, no big deal in the grand scheme of things, like, because they see stuff like that all the time, and they're constantly being bombarded with this in our government. There are constantly people trying to attack and get in and whatnot. And it's like, dude, wouldn't it be such a better world if every country wasn't trying to screw over every other country? Like, to quote the immortal Rodney King, can't we all just get along?
Well, the devil rules the earth. That's the downside of this whole thing. So that was a whole Bible thing. So yeah, that's why we still got all this weird issues happening here. Need more people to believe in the Bible. Maybe it'll work. What else I got for you here? Well, as long as we're talking about technology and whatnot, let's get to a story about Flock.
Brookfield police with guns drawn pull over a car they say was flagged by flock cameras in connection to a homicide out of Milwaukee. Well, turns out this was all some sort of mishap with the flock camera systems. In fact, Brookfield police say they called Milwaukee police and MPD said they no longer needed the car or the people inside, so officers let them go. But, this has really become a point of contention. Flock cameras as a whole, as more reports of misuse by law enforcement across the country arise.
So, yeah, that's kind of interesting there. So the police department, I guess, put out a warning for this particular vehicle itself. It got alerted months later, and they said, we got this person at gunpoint. We're going to arrest them. And they, oops, we forgot to take it off the list.
My bad. Wrong guy. We've seen a few of these, right? We've seen a few videos where people are saying like, hey, they saying that I did something, but I wasn't even in the state. Or say if it was like Florida, like South Florida, but I lived in Tallahassee. You know what I mean? Like North Florida. So, and then they say that it comes down to the people themselves that are accused that have to like prove that they didn't do it. And I'm like, yeah, dude, this is a little ridiculous. But I did hear something. I could have sworn I saw something that they're going to be looking into. They're going to be looking into it, and I'm not sure what court it was, but I would have to. I'd have to relook at it. But I could have sworn I seen something in the last day that they might be looking into it.
It says Twitch is twitching. It says it's good and connected. So let me know, Q Rhetoric.
Through Twitch.
So for those,
it won't let me back on. Asshole.
The other thing I want to point out here with this particular Flock system is that AI data company that had come out that says that it can manipulate live camera feeds, change the video, and then hide all the evidence of where the video is being stored that you couldn't tell. So it could go in there and digitally alter the live feed of the camera as it's running while you're watching it without you knowing it.
Oopsie daisies. July 1st, 2026. Dozens of innocent motorists have been pulled over, detained at gunpoint, or jailed due to AI license plate camera errors. As the number of automated license plate readers has skyrocketed nationwide, erroneous stops, detainments, and arrests are becoming increasingly common. But this is good. At least, this is something that we're all talking about, right? We're getting out and making note of it. And I don't think there's anybody out there other than law enforcement. And I would venture to say probably some law enforcement don't even want to see this stuff because they realize how much it can be used to even track them, right? I had one. Exactly. I had one last week, and I figured, I had it for one of my shows that I never really brought up, but it was some group. They were like, "Oh, they have Flock, we have this," and essentially, it's like they're watching like the authorities in their town, and they're basically like, "Well, how do you like it?" Like we're all going through this, so they have Flock, and we have whatever this was. I forgot what the name of it. Maybe I can find it later, but people are fighting back. Yeah, people are fighting back, bro. It's crazy.
Did I have
Go flock yourself. I dropped you one in our chat as well because certain ones are being used for like we see in the streets, but flock cameras are widely deployed to monitor street traffic and track vehicles. So why did technologist Ben Jordan? What's that?
Is that a link you just dropped me?
It's the one above the last link. So you see the image.
Give me a quick 30 seconds.
Sure. Absolutely. You'll love this one. So, I mean, what is this one doing, guys, right? It says flock cameras are widely deployed to monitor street traffic and track vehicles. So why did technologist Ben Jordan just find one pointed directly at a community swimming pool? Right? It doesn't really make any sense. And let me see, Mr. Hulkanator blocked that part of the screen for me here, but don't you worry. It says flock cameras, Why did he find one pointed directly at a community swimming pool? Noticeably, the pool in the video is completely empty during a 105-degree day. This camera placement raises immediate questions about the surveillance scope. Was this massive installation error by the Homeowners Association? Pepe. Or is technology sold specifically for vehicle tracking, quietly being used to monitor residents in their bathing suits? What do you think? Let us know in the comments. If I see, especially if I had a kid or especially if I had a daughter, I would be like, no. This thing's getting the green laser, spray paint, hacksaw treatment. Immediately.
I backed my car into it. I'm sorry. I bent it towards the skyward. I apologize. No, I didn't mean to knock it down, Mr. Officer. No, I backed into the pole. Dude, well, it's like crazy? 100 feet in the middle of the field there. Yeah, I know. It wasn't paying attention. Sorry.
I've always been bad at backing up. My bad. But dude, I mean, you got a camera just pointed right at the community swimming pool, and it's like, what are you doing? Hello.
Yeah. So some of these places are having issues with them. Some are canceling it. Like the whole gun range story from last weekend I was talking about. The gun range has removed both cameras from the outside because when the city or municipality signs up for a contract with FLAC, they don't tell them where they're putting all the cameras at. They just kind of do an assessment, figures out where the highest potential crime is going to be because the people at the gun range, they got guns. So we got to make sure none of them accidentally shoot anybody or whatever for your protection itself, right? Because it's here for your safety itself, right? That's what they basically are telling us. We're going to monitor you 24 hours a day for your safety itself. So yeah, great.
Oh God. I found it. I'll just say it. So this person called it Sparrow Map. He says, they have Flock, we have Sparrow Map. The do-it-yourself counter-surveillance tool that uses a webcam or old smartphone to detect, classify, and map government vehicles in real time. They track the public, now the public is tracking them back. That would concern me because if they're using it to, surveil like ICE officers and things like that, of course we don't want to see that. But yeah, they got a tough enough job as it is. But yeah, this stuff needs to go. And then, reading some of the comments, it's very 1984-ish, right? It's like, oh, no. We need to make sure you're safe, safe and secure. Safe and secure.
Exactly. Here, if you want to do this, remember the whole digital camouflage from doing the AI thing? You guys remember that?
Block the outside 20% of the screen.
Here.
A special car wrap is confusing flock cameras into not recognizing vehicles. The hell?
Also, if you go to Home Depot and you buy their reflective paint that you use, it's right there, rest of them, it's Krylon or whatever. You get the reflective paint that's a clear paint, and then you spray that on your license plate right there. And then the flash and cameras can't pick it up, but you can see it with the vision, with the naked eye out there. So you want to read a little bit here?
Yes. And, that's what people have to worry about is if you use those other things that block them, right? Like the ones that's like a police officer gets behind you and he can see like, oh, wait, you got something covering on that. But if you can do something that's clear that only a camera can notice, then yes, very, very smart idea. Let's see. Massimo here says, it took roughly 31 million tests to create a pattern capable of confusing flock cameras into missing cars. Cybersecurity researcher Bill Swearingen spent the past year training a system to generate adversarial patterns. These designs appear strange, yet remain clearly visible to the human eye while disrupting the software used by surveillance cameras. At DEF CON in Las Vegas, he applied one of the patterns to a wrapped Toyota Yaris and tested it against a flock camera in a public setting. The objective was not to conceal the car from the camera itself. The camera could still record the vehicle. Instead, the pattern aimed to prevent the software from recognizing that it was looking at a car in the first place. Swearingen reported that the demonstration succeeded. The car appeared on video but was not properly detected by the system. This distinction is important because modern surveillance cameras do far more than simply record footage. Many rely on computer vision to automatically identify vehicles, people, license plates, and other objects like bumper stickers and things like that, right? Enabling police and other users to search large volumes of video far more efficiently. Swearingen explained that his model conducted approximately 31 million tests while determining which patterns performed best. He also noted that the designs successfully confused 11 open-source detection algorithms, as well as systems employed in flock cameras and Axon body cameras. The outcome serves as a striking reminder that artificial intelligence surveillance does not perceive the world in the same way humans do. That's cool, dude.
Fight the system. That's basically what we're doing here.
Fight the power.
What else do we want to get into?
Hey, they did say the revolution will not be televised.
I don't know why that one's there, but let's hit this one right here. Read that for everybody.
Going to be on computer screens. Jason here say the Chinese just made 1 billion agent simulation. And in 14 hours of running it, they've already sent 4 million agents to re-education camps. What the frig?
Yep.
Seriously, we will soon be able to create an AI simulation of planet Earth in which the agents are conscious, believe they're human, and won't know they're in a simulation. Take from that what you will. Oh, you mean like what we're living in right now?
Yeah, read on the right here.
Chinese researchers published a June 26 paper introducing Light Society, an LLM-powered framework enabling efficient simulations of over 1 billion agents to model realistic social dynamics like trust games and opinion diffusion at planetary scale. Jason Kalkanis highlights the work with a humorous claim that 4 million agents entered re-education camps after 14 hours of runtime, using a drumroll emoji for emphasis, though the actual paper focuses on neutral phenomenon without referencing such controls. The post concludes by speculating on near-future AI systems capable of creating conscious Earth-like simulations where agents are unaware they exist inside one, prompting reflection on simulation theory.
They're playing the game Sims, and they did have to, they called it something else, but it's the exact same thing as what they're talking about itself. So they called it, what was the word that you used? A neural phenomenon, where it's basically getting outside the box itself and they need to point it in the right direction. So no, it didn't do it wrong. It's a phenomenon. It's a part of the algorithm, like a Neo.
Oops. Yeah, it just exists.
Oops. You created the one. A statistical anomaly. Here's another one here I haven't had a chance to check into yet. I just found this morning.
Former NASA warp drive lead just raised $12 million to build a chip that allegedly pulls power from the quantum vacuum. Ships in 2028?
NASA's Advanced Propulsion lead, Sony White, raised $12 million seed funding to develop a microspark chip, which uses engineered. How do you say that?
Cavities to harvest the continuous power from quantum vacuum fluctuations. White's Houston-based startup targets ultra-low power applications like sensors and wearables with a 5mm by 5mm chip producing 1.5 volts at 25 nanometers, is that? Planning
amps, small amps.
Milliamps, maybe. Planning commercial availability by 28 after incubation at the Limitless Space Institute. The attached image is Casimir's homepage promoting unlimited power chips that eliminate batteries and charging, fitting the account's focus on zero-point energy and ether-related physics breakthroughs. Dude, this is huge.
Yeah, so we're going to make a chip. It's small. It's not going to be all that powerful. It's not going to run AI or anything, but it'll run your watch forever and pull power out of the ether. Yeah, the quantum power that we all talk about that doesn't exist. Oh, he's going to make a computer chip that runs on it.
Badass. That's badass.
So, it goes along with the whole Devin Nunes and their whole system that they're putting together for the cold fusion system that they're going to build here in the next 2 years. Yeah, it just pulls power right out of the air. Yeah. Crazy shit, dude.
Well, who had a similar invention 118 or whatever years ago? Tesla, right? Remember he had that friggin' box that he put outside of his house? It would take energy from the ionosphere, he said, or something like that. So who knows if it was coming from the quantum vacuum or just the ionosphere, but essentially the same thing. You'll have unlimited energy, you just need to plug it in.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's doing it. I mean, why can't we do it? Look, I can make my own power. Just get power from the sky, right? Never mind the fact that he might get electrocuted with a bolt of lightning, but... A little bit early on that one, but I figured it fit right in there.
Wow. That's crazy, huh?
That is crazy. What else do we got here as we get into something? Anything else you want to throw into AI, quantum power, any of that crap?
Nope.
No. Back into the story at the end of Thursday here, talking about how the stealing cookies, which is basically means you clicked on a link in a YouTube video and sent it to YouTube to buy this. And then Honey jumped in between the two itself and said, no, we're going to take the commission on that link because somebody was supposed to get paid for that advertising link and we're just going to take it for ourselves. And then we'll earn the revenue on this. That was happening. So PayPal got busted with that, with their Honey discount coupon clipping thing. And also Bill Gates' daughter company got tagged for the same thing in the same week. So yeah, the system. Referrals.
7 million users. Mega lags viral investigation. Yeah. Always a scam, right? And these people are making crazy money off this. And, I see the guy on the left there, Mr. Beast, obviously, he's got his own products, his own commercials. I think he's got his own chocolate line, sells many products out of Target, Walmart, whatever. But even the guy on the left I've been seeing in commercials. I'm not sure who the guy on the right is there, but These guys are making money hand over foot, and then of course, something shady within here. Always something shady.
So then it comes back to, I wanted to play into this video here. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see this, but I thought this was quite interesting here. Listen what this gentleman has to say about the society today.
These kids are leaving high school and going to college, and they couldn't fill in 4 words. 4 words. I literally broke down in the middle of class. This is only day 2. And I have seniors who simply cannot read and seniors who cannot write. They can reason. They have the ability to defend their reasoning if it's talking to their homeboy, but applying that to a written text, 2 paragraphs, and they couldn't do it. Our young black men, our young brown men, our young black girls, and our young brown girls.
I have seen this in today's society just with my own eyes, with the stuff that we grew up on and, what we grew up on in school and, the whole thing. And, I was no star student. I was hooked on phonics, worked for me, and to see some of the newer kids here today still have issues with the mathematics and reading and those types of things that, unlike your son, who seems to be the prodigy out there outside the box itself. Very few of those groups, because I think the average is well below. Like California doesn't have anybody reading at grade level, or very few that actually make it there. And a lot of these, like I've seen some of the stories as of recently, like one of the colleges, was it college? Yes. One of the colleges coming up, one of the big ones out there, have decided to negate grades and do pass or fail. So no A, B, C, D, F or whatever. No. We're just going to do pass or fail because we're having a problem with the other students coming in to the school. And since everybody at our school does good and everybody's got really high grades and a grade point average and all those sort of things, we're not getting enough people joining the school because they feel it's too hard. So we're just going to go to a pass or fail system.
Oh my word.
Participation trophies, anybody?
Dude, that is just, it's sick. But you know what I mean? It really does come down to the community that he's in. I mean, I'm guessing by the way he's talking, he's probably in an inner city because he's talking about, brown and black boys and girls. But, to your point about like my son, thankfully we're in a town that has the best schools in Rhode Island, or supposed to have this best school program in Rhode Island. And it's not a race thing, right? As we have, my son has, a few black friends as well. They're very intelligent kids as well. They do very good in school as well. So I think it comes down to each school system, because I could take you, from where I'm at, literally 15 minutes to Providence, and I bet you'd probably have the same scenario that this guy's dealing with here. That would be my guess. I mean, I'm not there, so I can't tell you for sure, but that would be my guess.
Yeah, I think the educational system, since me and you have gone to school, has declined quite a bit. I think there are some good improvements into the system itself that are out there. Like, obviously they took like auto shop away and like wood shop in some of the areas there. But like my kids' school, they got a robotics class. You build a robot, with the whole on like erector set and putting the motor in and, adjusting the timing on the motor to make sure that you can have full movement of a particular limb or an item. And then, if you make a mistake, it doesn't go that far. You had to take it apart and rebuild it. And you're also programming particular motors with their little potentiometers with the limits on how far the item can rotate. It's cool that a lot of the stuff that they are doing for the kids of the accelerator. That's part of the STEM program out here where my son goes to. Who is starting his senior year in high school and is now on a split program where they're doing stuff at the local college at the same time for dual credits or dual enrollment, whatever they call it. So there are some positive things out there, but I mean, again, his reading level is not up to where I would be at the end of high school, put it that way. And I was a shitty reader. Yeah, I'm still a shitty reader. I got proof of like years of podcasting here.
Well, it's just because of you take your medicine, while you're podcasting. I can't do that. Daddy's got to take his medicine.
I'm having more coffee.
Daddy needs his medicine. Give me the lighter, ladies. That my friend years ago used to tell. I've literally never smoked around my son ever once, like ever since he's been 16. He'll be 16 this year. I always wait till he falls asleep.
Someone's asking, Hulk, do they still have music programs? Yes, they still have music programs.
Yes.
Rent the flute, the violin. My daughter was in choir for a lot of that stuff. The son doesn't do any of the music stuff, but my daughter had done that. And she graduated 2 years ago from high school. Hey, can you give me a quick 30 seconds so I can walk away?
Sure. And here's the funny thing too, right? Like, I think, Hulk was talking about like a little bit of homeschooling. And do kids need to be in school for 8 hours a day or whatever it is? I certainly don't think so. I think they could probably get it, get what they need done in less hours. But what parent is going to go out there and start saying, hey, you know what? We need to get my kids home sooner during the day. I need to clean up my house earlier. I need to prepare food earlier in the day. We need to get them back home sooner. Don't think we're going to have that argument anytime soon. But I've told this story. I don't know if I've ever told it online, but I had the luckiest senior year in history of school, as far as from my perspective anyway. And what that was our closest high school in my city had an asbestos problem. That was our rival other team in the town there. That we had three high schools and one private school. And so the closest one to us had an asbestos problem. So as a result, they all had to go to our school for my whole senior year. So my whole senior year was come in at 7:20 and we were out by 12:20. The whole year, senior year. I mean, I couldn't have asked for better. We won the baseball state championships that year because we were out at 12 and playing, home run derby, baseball, this, that, and the other. And then as we're starting our baseball practice, we're watching the kids from the other school heading into school at, 12:30 or whatever it was as we're starting baseball practice. So super, super lucky we got for my senior year. But, we did five hours essentially. I don't think the kids need to be in school for 8 hours a day. But again, who wants to make that argument to get the kids home sooner so we can start cleaning up after them earlier in the day and cleaning and cooking for them, right? Half days, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, so some kids, they learn at different rates. So some are going to absorb the information a lot faster than the other. So, you could do it where you get all your homework done, you go home, and some of the kids that can't absorb it as fast have to stay there a lot longer. So I'm not too sure that would work out there. Sean Alana gifted one subscription to the Hulkanator channel. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's weird.
What's that?
There's a person on my side with almost the same name. This one is Sean Lenane.
Lenane.
Gifted one
I should
to
be
my
wearing
channel.
glasses because they all kind of rolled together. Sean Lenane. Looks like an L to me. Lenane.
Sean Lenane. Yep.
Close enough, dude. She knew what I was talking about.
You got the Sean part right anyway.
Yeah. So then again, I ran by an old video that I wasn't aware of. Do you know the origins of the particular word addictomy?
God, a porno?
No. It was actually made up by somebody highly respected that you know. Everybody knows this. And I didn't know where the origins of the particular word came from. The word is, where did addictomy come from? Anybody? I'll give you just a couple more minutes if you want to take a quick guess out there.
Well, don't give them enough chance to Zoom it or Google it.
Yeah, all right. We'll just go right to the audio.
Here's John in Buffalo. Great to have you, John. Thanks for waiting. Here on the EIB network. Hello.
Hello, Rush. Yeah, I'm old enough to remember expletive deleted. You remember that one, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I have no problem with a little off-color humor if it's done with wit. But I've always wondered, how do you get away with addictomy?
How did I get away with addictomy?
Yeah, I mean, it's not exactly subtle. It's
Well, now, you mean why have I yet to be called upon by the San Francisco community or the
FCC? It's a little obvious.
I think because some people may not know what you're talking about here. And explaining it will explain why I get away with it. There's nothing to get away with here. This is brilliant, creative use of the language to convey a bevy of thoughts in one word. The origination of the word, San Francisco, again, folks, there were massive protests on the part of city employees demanding that the city of San Francisco pay for sex change operations. It was a very important deal, and many on the San Francisco City Council, I don't know what they actually call it, but they approved it, thought it was a great thing. And it was in the news quite a lot. This is years ago, but it was in the news quite a lot, and there were quotes from various city employees, some who women wanted to become men, and vice versa. And so I had to find ways to shorten what I was talking about so I wouldn't get distracted by process. And so the female to male sex change operation became the addictomy. And to this day, there has not been a single objection filed. Of course, there will be now, John, since you brought it up and made me explain this. And of course, then the other way is the chop a dick off of me when you're going the other way. That one's not referenced as much, but they both have seen their day.
So yeah. Did you know that? See, where would you find this anywhere else on the internet except for right here?
See, now you know. You didn't know you needed to know, but you did.
Chop a dick off of me.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that one, but yeah, I remember the addictomy. I remember that one younger one when I was as a kid going to high school and stuff. I didn't know where it came from. Did you guys know that?
Chop a dick off of me? Is that what he said
Yeah.
there?
Yeah. Yes, everybody's saying they miss Russian. We all agree with you out there.
Yay.
So then my whole setup here is coming right to this t-shirt right here. This is when society changed. You ready? This explains everything we just talked about right here. Would you like to describe this t-shirt to everybody here?
It says, "What is my history teacher wearing?" 1970s. Let's see. And then to the left is the 70s. To the right says now. And then it says on the left underneath, mass shootings, people going to therapy, smoking in restaurants and planes, calling people gay and retarded.
So if we look at this, the mass shootings and people going to therapy since the 70s has increased to now. But now if we take the green smoking in restaurants and planes and calling people gay and retarded have gone down since the 70s till now. And you can see what we're running into.
See, it just goes to show you that, you can't just be nice to be nice. And, you should let people know what you think and let people smoke in restaurants and planes again. No. Not that.
And call people gay and retarded because I think it sets precedence when the dude shows up in a tutu dress and his balls are hanging out of his G-string. I can go, dude, you're gay and retarded. There's kids around here. Can you please leave? And I think it'd be an embarrassment. It'd be like, yeah, dude, I need to go put some pants on.
And you tuck it in.
It looks like a hastily packed suitcase, sir.
And you pack the boys in, please.
So that comes back to this one right here. where I'd like to spend just a little bit more time over here because obviously when you're going to sign up for the the women's NBA draft that's coming up very shortly, and you have signed and attested to that you would need to go and do interviews and make sure that people understand your viewpoint of being a transgender black basketball player.
I'm talking to a lot of people. There's been an outpour of support behind the scenes. Now, how people, support black, trans, lesbian publicly is still a work in progress. But there's a lot of support behind the scenes, and I just think we're going through a reality test right now. What is up? What is down? What is real? What is fake? Is this my hair? Is this my hair? I mean, I paid for it, but does that mean it's mine? And does it mean it's mine in a way that could be equated to growing it myself? And, there's a lot of ambiguity in life. And I think that ambiguity is the gateway to freedom and liberty. And that's why I'm gender ambiguous and gender fluid. And I think it's a good thing.
Roysha, I am delighted to hear that you're a freedom fighter. I think I fully support your efforts, your campaign. I feel like my reality is being tested as well. And there's something about you, Roysha, that I find interesting in still pictures. And you tell me if I'm being, if this is offensive or if this is supportive. And I'm just observing. You look very almost like a religious figure in your still pictures. Has anybody else said that? And I mean that only as just an observation and a compliment.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm certainly a Christian still. Yeah, I'm a pro-life Christian, black, trans, lesbian, sometimes identifying as a black, trans, lesbian for basketball purposes. And it's a high compliment. Thank you. And you're a superstar. You're a household name. So I appreciate that from you, sir.
Well, Roysha, you've been intriguing to me from the beginning, and I really was delighted to hear that you were going to stop by and talk to me. I am interested in following this story and supporting it, and I do think that leaning in is a great strategy these days to try to find out where reality is and is not, and I think you're having an interesting impact. To see you playing in the WNBA would be a fascinating experiment. Do you worry, and this is not meant to be inflammatory to your efforts, but do you worry that you might hurt somebody out there on the floor?
Well, I mean, again, it's back to the basic reality testing. So far as I've come to learn, I'm new in the trans community, but so far as I've come to learn, sex does not proceed from biology, and genitalia does not determine gender. My trans affirming doctor has recently told me that I could think of my genitalia, that's how it was at birth, as about a little over 9 inches of clitoris. So we're in a whole new world, right? And I could hurt somebody, but you could argue that I'm helping evolve the game for the women. And making them a little bit tougher, and maybe, and who could even argue? Some things are about money in our society. Money is the organizing principle in our culture, right? If I play in the WNBA and other trans people, it's going to be more entertaining, more value. I mean, it's going to be a better commodity. We're going to have better ticket prices, more TV audience, bigger TV audiences, and ultimately women will get paid more. So I'm actually doing the gender pay gap in the WNBA a huge service. But we used to think there are some things that transcend money. Some things used to transcend money. I don't know if we have those barriers anymore in society.
Well, you certainly...
Oh, my God.
Roysha.
Oh my God! I'm glad I saved to watch most of that there to watch it with you guys.
Dude, I almost died. Roysha, Roysha.
Oh.
And he keeps playing with his hair.
You got to play the show. You know what I mean? If you're gonna push the WNBA to the point where they're gonna have to decide what a woman is, because you already got 2 NBA players want to play.
All right, I got one. I think you could probably do one on Pilled, but I could probably do one on YouTube. I don't think Rumble allows you to do them yet, but do a poll, and I'm being serious here. If you had some of these guys started playing, say if him and like a handful of others started playing, would you watch?
Down, I would watch the very first game, hands down, dude. If this guy showed up and they're gonna be playing, dude, I guarantee it'll be the one game would probably be watched more than the entire 5 seasons of the WNBA. One game, I guarantee it. We have to go to the Andrew Tate one because this is going to wait. What was this? We're going to go into the. Actually, you know what? We're going to do the Andrew. I got to find the Andrew Tate one. Where is she? Because I think it fits in there with this whole trans and deal. Because Mr. Andrew Tate makes a good point on talking about feminism with Bonnie, and I'm currently looking for the video. Taste a biscuit. Dude, where did I leave that damn frickin'?
We got the poll running out there right now on YouTube. We'll see.
Where did I hide it? Here it is. This is the 2 minutes of this whole thing right here. Kind of ties into what we're just talking about and the way society is. And I think Andrew Tate puts it in a perfect explanation.
Andrew, what do you think of Bonnie Blue sleeping with 1,057 men?
How honest should I be out of 10?
I want you to be honest.
You want me to be honest?
Yeah, go on.
I don't understand why men sit here and try and lecture you about it. I don't understand why men sit here and say you shouldn't do it. It's your body, your choice, right? This is the world we now live in. This is the end result of feminism. You are the perfect end result of feminism. In the world I believe in the conservative, traditionally masculinely ruled world, a man would be in charge of his daughters until they're handed over to their husbands or boyfriends, and there would be a degree of masculine guidance. But feminism didn't want that. Women complained that men don't want to get married. We did actually want to get married when we got obedient virgins, but they disappeared. And they complained about the patriarchy, and they were tired of us giving them a house to live in and kids to raise, and they wanted to make their own choices. So she's making her own choice. That's a fantastic thing. I actually have a lot of respect for you because you own it and you're honest about it.
What if it was your daughter?
Well, that won't happen.
But she's her own person.
I never said my daughter's her own person. I said women want to be their own people. But my point is, there's so many women who go to Magaluf for a weekend and do something very similar, and then they come back to England and get with some fucking guy and start asking for presents from him and talking about how they deserve a traditional relationship and they want to get married and they want a Christmas present and all this bullshit. Most women do exactly what Bonnie does. I don't see you any different than most women. And I'm not saying that in a degrading way.
Most women don't sleep with 1,057 men in a day.
1,000? Does it fucking matter?
I think it does.
I don't really think it does.
So
it's all disgusting to me. If I met a woman and she said, I just sucked a dick yesterday, I'd say, well, I find you repulsive. I don't want to sleep with you. Goodbye.
What, so you're only going after virgins?
Well, it's not about only going after virgins, but I think if you're a straight man, the idea of having a bunch of men fuck a woman that you're with is pretty repulsive.
Yeah, exactly. So that's all he's saying. But if you want to own it with your feminism, then there you go. The whole time out there, right?
Oh, my. He goes, I didn't say my daughter would be her own person.
Well, it's upbringing again, whether you're going to have this liberal ideology type thing where they're going to go through and, talk about the patriarchy and, I don't want to have a family and kids are bad. And that's what a lot of these kids got brainwashed with. And he's talking about that. But we all had the traditional type of upbringing where we got married early and had kids and all that shit before we all turned 30.
Mm-hmm. I mean, just a different world, and that is just absolutely. I think she's gross, anyways. Like, besides the fact that just looking at her, I think visually she kind of disgusts me. But knowing that she did that, like, all for what? To break a record? Like, oh wow, you broke a record. You slept with. You didn't even sleep with men. You had sex with 1,057 men. Dude, could you imagine? Like,
that's just one 24-hour period.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, could you imagine like being the 1,057th man, like the last guy in line. Oh, sorry, just got here late. Imagine the stink in that room and just nope. Ugh.
Nope, I didn't need that much of visualization there. So yeah.
Smells like freaking low tide in here. What the hell?
So that comes back to this T-shirt again.
Calling people gay and retarded needs to get back up. We need
Let's
to pump
put the ashtrays back in there. We need them. That's the whole point.
Bump those rookie numbers up.
All right, let's go back into doing a little bit of now and then on the AI videos. You ready?
Yay.
So this one's kind of a little bit of a repeat from a year or so ago, but yeah. All of them. You remember all those memes? All in one? All right, so here, let's get to this, dude. Remember that time, the first time we saw Will Smith eating spaghetti?
I like the 2026 version of me a hell of a lot better than this slop. We've come a long way. I suppose you want me to eat spaghetti now. Pasta la vista, baby.
So yeah, what do you think?
Pasta la vista. Is that an old one or something? Is that like an old meme? That one, him eating pasta?
Well, the first one, because they were doing AI videos and generative AI. This in the very beginning is what it looked like when AI was showing him eating pasta like 2 years ago, I think, when it all started coming out with the generative AI and stuff like that. And that's what they could get then, you know, and now you can see how accurate it is. Even him holding, see the fingers and all that. So they're getting pretty damn good with it.
They get
Remember,
the accurate
fingers were
number
hard
of
for
fingers.
the AI. Yeah.
Well, even BB at the coffee shop less than a year ago.
What was this? Oh yeah, we're gonna start here first.
Catherine Harrods.
So I haven't listened to this video and get a chance to put it. Do you want to cover this and we'll go through this and see what she says in the video, or should we just go to the video?
Yeah, whatever. Intelligence Community Inspector General confirms Hillary Clinton is guilty under the Espionage Act in violation of 18 U.S. Code 793, gathering, transmitting, or losing of national defense information. Quote, Hillary Clinton emails on her unsecured personal server in her bathroom closet contain intelligence from the U.S. government's most secretive and highly classified operation called Special Access Programs, or SAPs. The Intelligence Community Inspector General Charles McCullough II, quote, the comprehensive review by the intelligence agencies who have final say of classification matters found several dozen emails containing classified information at the confidential, secret, and top secret special access program levels. That is even more sensitive than top secret. There is no mistake. You don't accidentally stumble across it and not realize what it is. According to court documents, former CIA Director David Petraeus was prosecuted for sharing intelligence from special access programs with his biographer and mistress, Broadwell. At the heart of his prosecution was a non-disclosure agreement where Petraeus agreed to protect these closely held government programs with the understanding, quote, unauthorized disclosure, unauthorized retention, or negligent handling could cause irreparable injury to the United States or be used to advantage by a foreign nation. Hillary Clinton signed an identical non-disclosure agreement on January 22nd, 2009. But the corrupt FBI and DOJ were ordered by Barack Obama not to arrest Hillary Clinton for espionage. In fact, Barack Obama effectively served as Hillary Clinton's personal lawyer. CIA John Ratcliffe, quote, Lisa Page confirmed to me under oath that the FBI was ordered by the Obama DOJ not to consider charging Hillary Clinton for gross negligence in the handling of classified information. By the way, on May 18th of this year, Hannity confirmed on the radio show that the 33,000 emails Hillary Clinton bitched have been recovered. Bitched. I read that as it was. Oh, and by the way, and I'm going to read this as it is. Oh, and by the way, quote, a March 2015 letter from attorney David Kendall confirms that Hillary Clinton's legal team received a congressional subpoena regarding her emails, contradicting her July 2015 assertion that the witch hunt never received one. Boom. March 2015, huh?
Yeah, that March Madness thing keeps coming back again, as we thought about, because that's what they did the March toll to go after Trump in 2017-18. So I just find that interesting that she was tagged in March also out here. What else did we look? Now, this is interesting. This is new info because it's CIA John Radcliffe. Well, he hasn't been CIA director for that long, and I don't remember him ever saying Lisa Page confirmed to me under oath, unless they're referencing Senate testimony. And as far as did Lisa Page ever testify in front of Congress? I know Peter did, but as far as I know, Lisa didn't. So that might be new. I don't know. I don't know where to put this comment. This is what caught my eye in this whole post was this. Thoughts?
I'm running it through right now, seeing what it's saying. Yes, the statement you're referring to came from the then Rep. John Ratcliffe, March 13, 2019, after the House Judiciary Committee released transcripts of Lisa Page's closed-door testimony. Yeah, I think that is new, though.
From?
I don't ever remember seeing that quote, though, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't remember that either.
Issues that has eroded some trust that we've seen is the issue of your email practices while you were Secretary of State. I think there's a lot of people who don't understand what your thought process.
Look at that dazed and confused freaking look right there.
Nodding.
And what your thought process was on that. So can you tell me the story of how you decided to delete 33?
What is her internal monologue saying to her right now? That I need to kill this bitch. I'm going to go and hit the button right now. They're going to come in and just murder her.
Die. I think it's probably like before the interview, she's like, if I start staring at you and nodding slowly, that means change the effing subject. And she's just sitting there like nodding. Yeah.
3,000 emails and how that deletion was executed.
Maybe she's doing like witchcraft or something in her head.
Well, let's start from the beginning. Everything I did was permitted. There was no law. There was no regulation. There was nothing that did not give me the full authority to decide how I was going to communicate.
Yeah, because I was using an email server off of government system so we can communicate secretly, and we are communicating with Barack Obama and everybody else out there, and we were using fake email addresses to make sure it didn't sound like the actual person we're emailing.
Previous secretaries of state have said they did the same thing, and
we got subpoenaed for the info and we returned it back in, and right before we turned it in there, we smashed everything with hammers.
People across the government knew that I used one device. Maybe it was because I am not the most technically capable person, and
had a guy look up how to use BleachBit over there on Reddit to make sure that you can use it correctly.
Wanted to make it as easy as possible.
But you said that they did the same thing, that they used a personal server and
well,
while facing a subpoena.
In Chappaqua, the closet where the server was kept at burned down.
Deleted emails from them?
You know, you're starting with so many assumptions that I've never had a subpoena. There is nothing. Again, let's take a deep breath here.
Yeah, remember that guy Seth Rich working at the DNC as he's a systems analyst that's coalescing all the information for email systems and trying to coalesce it into one. And he sees inside the emails that are coming in that they're going to throw the election for Bernie Sanders and give it to Hillary Clinton, and then he goes and tries to report it to WikiLeaks, and they kill him?
Everything I did was permitted by law and regulation. I had one device. When I mailed anybody in the government, it would go into the government system. Now, I didn't have to turn over anything. I chose to turn over 55,000 pages.
And James Comey looked at 380,000 emails in under 24 hours when they found the laptop that was from, what's his name? The crazy Anthony Weiner's laptop with the insurance file and supposedly the whole Frazzle Drip video with Huma Abedin and all those sort of things. And we had the chief of police of New York come out and said that we need to go and arrest Hillary Clinton, just what's on that laptop itself. And never mind the 9 officers associated with that task force, all committed suicide over that summer.
Because I wanted to go above and beyond what was expected of me, because I knew the vast majority of everything that was official already was in the State Department system. And now I think it's kind of fun. People get a real-time, behind-the-scenes look at, what I was emailing about and what I was communicating about.
Wearing warm socks, as you said to John Podesta.
Exactly.
Yeah, talking to what was it? Not the nanny, the maid at the house, talking about that they're going to sacrifice a chicken to Moloch.
Or
working a fax machine.
Yeah, a secure fax machine, which is harder to work than the regular. So, yes, this is being blown up with no basis in law or in fact. That's fine. I get it. This is being, in effect, used by the Republicans in the Congress. Okay. But
and then we got John Brennan to do what? Spaceshot?
John Brennan to do what?
But then you got John Brennan to do what? Come on, continue on with the add-ins.
Kill Seth Rich?
No. To start Russiagate?
Oh.
Remember that? The whole notes? Yeah. Remember, John Brennan's the one that said that I was under the direction from Hillary Clinton to continue the Russian disinformation campaign to make sure that we pinned that anything that was Russia under Barack Obama, because they had the whole task force set up, that it is actually Donald Trump. And I did the handwritten notes just to cover my ass to say this was done to make sure we covered what Hillary Clinton was doing at the time. Just saying. That's the point they wanted to get apart
Hillary
as they go after.
Confidential human source states vilifying Donald Trump as working with Russian intelligence services, essentially plan made by Hillary Clinton, and then I forgot what her assistant's name was, but it was okayed by her assistant. And so, yes, that was very early on. And that also proves that they knew very early on that there was nothing to it.
Wasn't that Cheryl Mills?
I forgot.
Why is that name?
It wasn't any of the common names that we know. It was like Lacey or something. Somebody okayed it. I forgot. I'll get it for you by the end of this.
Yeah.
But I want people to understand what the truth is. And the truth is, everything I did was permitted, and I went above and beyond what anybody could have expected.
Yeah, and we gave testimony on that 4th of July weekend without being under oath or anybody recording. And I can't remember, she had her assistant with her at the same time as they're giving testimony on the 4th of July weekend while nobody's in D.C.
In making sure that if the State Department didn't capture something, I made a real effort to get it to them. And I had no obligation to do any of that. So let's set the record straight. And those 55,000 pages, they will be released over the course of this year. People can again make their own judgment.
So older clip, but I just thought that was interesting. Hope you like our little breakdown of that. Everything that I can remember off the top of my head.
Julianne, and so I think it was okayed by Julie and AI here, and I'd have to re-verify it, but it's telling me Julianne Smith.
Ask it who was testifying with her in D.C. at the time on that 4th of July weekend. Give me 30 seconds.
Who testified with Hillary? With Hillary, I hope that's what he means. Who testified with Hillary Clinton on 4th of July weekend? But yeah, they knew this stuff from the very beginning. They knew it was all BS. So even when they say like, oh, we had to, do the intelligence community assessment and, we had to rewrite it. No, they knew. They all knew back then while they pointed the intelligence community at President Trump, they knew full well that it was not, there was no connection to him and Russian intelligence, period. End O statement there. Let me thank a couple people here while Hulks is gone. Thank you very much, Magadai, who gifted out 5 subscriptions to the channel. I do appreciate that, and thank you for spreading out the advertisements as well. I do appreciate that. Jules Patriot dropped a $10 Rumble rant, says the Teachers Union, AFT, and NEA are taking busloads of middle schoolers to mosques. They're pushing DEI, Islam, and DSA even in Christian schools by teachers transferring in. It says defund the Pentagon. Oof.
Huh?
One of the Rumble rants was saying that certain teachers, the teacher unions, AFT and NEA, are taking busloads of middle schoolers to mosques, and they're pushing the DEI and stuff. And just let me thank one more, and then I'll be caught up here. ICKEDMEL had rated the stream, so thank you for that. ICTMEL, and then Mr. G Fonts dropped $1 holler on Rumble. Says several states are giving students that score a 65 out of 100. Excuse me, the grade of a B. As a member of high school class of 1997, 65 was always the lowest score before dropping to a D from a D to an F. Yeah, same here. Well, 65 was a D. Yep, 64 was a fail for me, or an E.
I want to say a big thank you to Maga D1776, gifted 5 subscription to the Hulkanator channel. Thank you for everybody who won those.
Yes. Mega
you get the special. That's all for you, just for you.
Class
Check your 9 volt.
1997. So Hulk, that means you were the class of 1995?
4.
You were 4, huh? Oh, you must have stayed back then.
Yeah, I went at 3rd grade.
You didn't know how to put the circle into the square.
Hooked on phonics. No, actually, I was really good at all that shit. My problem was words and spelling and shit like that. Speech therapist, those types of things is where I had my issue with. But as of you take apart the radio and put it back together because you wanted to in your garage at home because you were 9 and it worked. Yeah, I did shit like that all the time. Just because I wanted to figure out how shit works. So anything that do with the Rorschach test or what does this thing look like, or, copy this shape where they give you that, thing where they give you a whole bunch of different shapes. Oh, you need to copy this shape. And I was really good at all that shit. Passed all those tests. It was just this dyslexia part of my upbringing.
He had a problem keeping his hands to himself. You want to take a guess what was on literally almost, I would say 99.9% of my report cards, like elementary school all the way to the end. There was one repeating comment that was on there. Take a guess. Take a guess. What was Spaceshot's critique? The negative. A negative critique in a high school.
Smarty pants.
That would be like a compliment. Easily distracted by others.
Yeah.
Like every year.
I mean, I actually did. They did the IQ test on me back when I was in elementary school. They told me in elementary school that your IQ is above 125. They wouldn't tell me, but they did tell me when I was that was like 5th grade or something, because we were doing all those tests and I had been doing them for like years, going through different versions of these tests. As they do go through your learning disabilities and what you're going to need for high school and all those sort of things. And I thought that was interesting because they actually told me.
They said mine was only 198. I'm like, oh, that's it? Come on.
I don't use it for good, though.
What do they say? Who was supposed to be one of the smartest people of all time? There's some dude now, they say he has an IQ of like 190. I think 195. But I think they previously said Isaac Newton. Who?
Somebody had made a joke. It says Gate-anator.
Gate-anator.
And Gate was the Gate program. They come over and test your hearing and eyes and all that weird shit. Do they still do that now? Do they test the kids' hearing? I don't even know. I should ask my kids.
We had the presidential fitness test or something like that. They probably had it because you were around the same grade as me. So I remember it was like in elementary school. It was like the presidential physical fitness program or something like that. 1980s.
Yeah, that was recently because they just had what was it? The awards are out. I think he had to go somewhere for it. I didn't pick up any clips for it, but they had a bunch of kids standing on there.
1980s presidential physical fitness test was a staple of American physical education. Students were tested on events like the sit and reach, shuttle run. Yeah, this is exactly the one I remember.
I remember doing the sit and reach.
Push-ups. Yep, sit-ups, push-ups. I specifically remember the shuttle run because I was the fastest in the class. Even though I had those surgeries on my ankles, my doctor said I wouldn't be a fast runner. Wrong.
So I remember doing those fitness tests. Come to think about it, as soon as you said the sit and reach, you sit down, they had that box you put your feet on, and how far you can get your hands to a specific point and all that. Now I'm starting to remember that was like in, I think like middle school, like 6th or 7th grade, I think.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. And then the shuttle run for us, they had put chalk erasers, like the little square chalk erasers, essentially, 10 yards, a little bit down the way. And so there would be 2 there, and then I think 1 back there or whatever. So you'd have to go up and grab the chalk eraser, go back, bring it to your original starting point, go back, get another one, bring it back, and that was it. So up and back, up and back.
Interesting. How many of you guys out there in chat remember doing these educational programs like these particular tests we're talking about, whether it was your hearing, vision test, all those sort of things? I remember it.
I got one for you, dude. How about, and who knows, I don't know if they do it or not. I got to ask my son, but remember they brought us anyways into the gym and they checked us all for scoliosis. I'm like, what are you looking for? You're trying to see if your back's like bent or twisted, your spine's all messed up or not. Scoliosis? What? So yeah, they checked everybody for scoliosis on one day. That was one of the tests that they gave us. I was like, this is weird.
Yeah, this makes sense because somebody wrote I miss dodgeball. Yeah, that goes on up there with gay, retarded, and dodgeball.
Slamming people off the face. Those were the good old. Dude, you want to hear a funny story? This is pretty crazy. So I was playing, I want to say 11th grade. Playing volleyball, right? In regular gym class, and I can't just throw the ball up, whatever. I got to be like I'm Mr. Professional, right? So I'm like 5 feet behind the serving line, and I throw the ball.
You saw Top Gun?
Yeah. So I throw the ball up in the air and run up and jump in the air and whack it, and I had a pretty decent serve, right? Sometimes it went in, sometimes it went out. Well, one day, apparently this kid was walking to the side, and they did not mean to hit him, and I just absolutely smashed this kid off the side of the face, and it was 2 years after high school, we found out he ended up killing his brother, his father, and his stepmother. He shot them all. I'm like, oh, geez. Good thing I got away with that one, huh?
What was, somebody made a comment here. Glenn Jones says smear the queer. Like dodgeball. I remember that out there being called that.
Smear the queer. I like it.
You've never heard of that before?
Well, and I say this half jokingly because, I think you guys were a little more, I dare to say the word liberal in California. So I think you guys may have had more early gay access or exposure. That would be the word that I would use, because I've said this in the past, and, maybe we can suss it out right now. Like, did you have gay kids in your high school?
Yeah, well, a little bit, but I knew gay as being a young kid because one of my family friends that we'd go to the river together, they had a young son that acted very feminine, and I knew right off the bat at 7 or 8 that this dude was different, and he was going to probably turn out to be gay. I was probably 8 or 9 when I figured that one out, so there wasn't a far gone conclusion that some of the people are born like that, and you're not going to change the way they think. And he did turn out that way, and he's a great dude. I don't have a problem with it. You know what I mean? We played together all summer, and play in the water or whatever. We were kids at that time, but we're all family, friends, and those sort of things. And I knew then.
Hulk knew right then. This is the guy's house I need to be sleeping over.
This guy's going to grow up to be gay, and I'm okay with it. And They didn't know at that point, but I knew, or I don't know if they accepted or whatever. I don't know. I don't know where to put it, but I knew then.
Hulk's over sitting next to him with his finger pointing to the side, like this guy. Like, hey, but I mean, I ask you that because, I same as you, graduated in '94 in Rhode Island, and if there was a gay guy, like, I have no idea, right? Like, not one person was out, not one person was, acting flamboyant. If they were probably, keeping that into themselves. But then fast forward to 2009, I want to say. So 1994, high school. Fast forward to 2009, Johnson & Wales College. I'm doing some overnight security to make some extra money. And it was like going from a place that had no gay people there at all to looking around going, wait, it's almost like the cool thing to be here is gay. Am I like reading this room right? And I'm just like, this dude's like, he's gay. Yeah. Oh, he is too? All right, come on. And I'm like, wait, this is like the in crowd is the gay crowd now? And I'm just like, it was just like Twilight Zone for me, dude, to see that, how different it was.
Yeah. And his parents, just thinking his parents, he was they're both 60 hippies. And the one guy was helped build the house out the river house. That was the husband. He did a construction company, and the wife, old school party girl, just like somebody wanted to hang out with, talk and shit like that. Was one of those people, and they had a kid together. It turned out like that. So it's not, at that time, I knew it wasn't a product of the environment. You know what I mean? Just, I don't know, luck of the draw, I guess.
Luck of the draw. Low T, perhaps.
Go back to the gay retarded and smoking on planes. I think we solve a lot of things there. What else are we going to get into? What else do we got? Oh, yeah. James Comey seems to be panicking here a little bit, and FBI David for the search warrant. And James Comey's presidential threat case reveals that his wife, Patricia Comey, sent him a Google screenshot of a nonviolent definition of the term 86 just 2 minutes before James Comey posted the alleged threat against President Trump, indicating some forethought. His posting could be construed as a threat.
Oh, dude, that is no bueno. I mean, dude, he was the freaking director of the FBI. You're telling me he doesn't know what 86 means?
Exactly. So, yeah, we're going to get a breakdown. I want more info.
Want more? More? Secret Service surveillance records. Whoa. More info.
It's searching. Yeah, it's close enough. It'll get it.
More I.
I want a little bit more because it's quite interesting, some of the things that were. Because they have to go into the court listener and check, because nobody's really reporting any of this into the depths that they went to monitor Mr. Comey. Live monitoring.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Mr.
I thought
James
I picked this up.
8 Corny.
Oh, yeah. Let's go ahead and start right there at the top and go ahead. Go for it.
All right. Expanded surveillance details.
Yes.
Internal Secret Service emails. Hold on a second here. Okay. Internal Secret Service emails show clear hesitation about the phone tracking. An assistant to the special agent in charge wrote that pinging the phone was a bad idea. To declare an exigency exemption, we need to believe that there is an imminent threat to life or limb. We did not believe that anyone's life was in immediate danger, and legally it was a bad idea to ping the phone. The SAIC agreed it was, quote, legally questionable, but indicated we might anyway. The emergency request from Verizon claimed an emergency involving danger of death or serious physical injury. The agent who signed it noted he did so with hesitation after being asked by the SAIC, and that the number 3 guy at DOJ wanted the exigency ping. Tracking occurred while Comey and his wife drove north on I-95. Physical surveillance lost them when they exited to visit their late son's cemetery. It says this is the core material defense calls illegal electronic surveillance obtained without a warrant or court order. Trump's direct interest, same-day emails. While Trump was aboard Air Force One on May 16th of 25, SAIC Bush emailed at 12:03, is it possible for me to get an immediate readout, call of the interview. Follow-up. It's a hot topic on the plane, and redacted presidential codename is very interested. Mogul? Notes. Mogul, is it Mogul? Let's see. Notes indicated the president wanted the interview notes for a planned 6 p.m. press conference. An after-action email from the SAIC thanked the team for handling, quote, PI-related issues that have and had political and far-reaching consequences, and called it a story that we will be telling the rest of our careers. Person 1 and the immediate violent interpretation. The warrant affidavits claim Person 1 immediately viewed the post as a call to violence. Discovery shows otherwise. Both the May 25 Secret Service interviews and the longer April 13, 26 recorded FBI interview, Person 1's first association with 86 was restaurant slang, out of something on the menu, 86th. The shift to a violent reading came after hearing Rudy Giuliani's media claim about mob usage. Person 1 had not spoken to Comey in 2 to 3 years, blocked Patrice Comey's number, expressed personal hostility, I hope Jim goes to jail, and said they wished they could offer more material to make the Comeys, quote, face consequences. The defense argues these details were omitted or mischaracterized in the search warrant affidavits, the basis for the Franks motion. The government's own failed efforts to link 86 to violence in Comey's experience. Extensive post-indictment and some pre-indictment searches produced negative results. FBI Sentinel database, Gambino and Salerno case files, transcripts, social media checks of Comey and his wife, no relevant hits. Interviews with retired FBI agents and relevant New York organized crime squads. They understood 86 as get rid of, never as kill. What's the difference, right? Open source and AI searches produced mixed results, including former agents disputing any violent mob usage and noting Merriam-Webster does not list a violent sense. Sammy the Bull Gravano interview said he 86 means get rid of and to a gangster to kill. He did not ever recall discussing the term with Comey and said it would not have been brought up around law enforcement. Amazon Records, Defense Rule 17C, over 200,000 product ASINs already used 8645, 6, and 7 logos before May 15th of 25, consistent with it circulating as political merchandise. FBI communicated threat database contained 0 threats prior using 86. Other notable points from Discovery, Secret Service briefly added 8647 to threat key term searches on May 16th after Trump's public comments, then rolled the policy back the same evening because the volume was too high unless accompanied by actual incitement. The March 26 Apple warrant seized some attorney-client communications later quarantined by the government after the defense raised the issue. The sole signatory on the April 28 of 26 indictment, AUSA Matthew Petracca, was appointed only 2 days earlier and later withdrew from the case. Current status of the case, procedural status, government responses to the July 28th motion to dismiss for lack of true threat, vindictive selective prosecution, suppress, and Frank's grand jury disclosure are August 18th of 26. Defense replies due September 1st. Arraignment is set for September 30th in New Bern. If the case proceeds, trial is expected to schedule to begin October 21st. And the court has ordered paper copies of the pending motions and has sealed certain exhibits. These files.
So,
it's
so the big thing is they the number 3 of the DOJ pushed the Secret Service to put a monitoring ping on the Comey's systems. They can monitor them in real time and then track them also. And then Trump was asking questions about the testimony given in these cases itself for talking points on a on a rally later. So they're trying to get the case dismissed on those particular charges themselves. So it's politically motivated.
Well, it's interesting though that they do the 86 and the wife sent him a picture 2 minutes before that. Didn't he say he was walking on the beach with his wife Patrice and that she noticed the shells and said, "Oh, that's cool."
Yeah, that sounds familiar. Yep.
So then she texts him, who's standing right next to him. So that would prove to me that she wasn't actually with him, And that story is a lie, right? Because unless you're going to, why would you need to text your husband if he was right next to you? And I know kids do it, right? Like they'll sit in the same room and text with each other. But why would she text him? Where was that? That was like on the very top, the very beginning, I think. Doesn't make sense, right? Like, why would she text him if she was standing right next to him? She could just point the phone and say, see? And that's evidence. Like that, why would you do that at all?
Yeah, so that's what's going down with that story. You ready to check in with Illy and Omar?
Oh boy, which brother / husband is she doing today?
Yeah, so let's just get what she said.
And so the idea that this is a white nation that needs to be preserved is a fascinatingly disgusting view, because this country is one for the many.
Yeah, so that's her thought process with America as they start to break it down.
Yeah, it's for the many people that want to see this country succeed and do good, and people that want to assimilate into our country, not bring the way your country is ran and essentially, destroyed to our country. Assimilate. And dude, people that are immigrants that have gotten citizenship, I absolutely cannot stand the fact that all these people, in the last few years, whatever, essentially got in and got citizenship like the snap of a finger. It's a slap in the face to some of them took, more than 10 years, but some of them, 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, I think I got some stories on that too. We'll get into it. So I just wanted to get some political stuff in there, what she had to say. And then we're end by this. Would you like to read that to everybody?
Oh yeah. Oh, I got a mayor funny for you too as well. Former Columbus, Mississippi Vice Mayor Joseph Mickens arrested and indicted for fraud. How many freaking Democrat fraudsters officials are there? All of them. Mickens has been accused of receiving funds for city projects and bid rigging while in office. He faces up to 30 years in prison and thousands in fines. Hell yes. More fraud exposed.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Read that one.
The Democrat mayor of Lawrence, this is the one. This is the one. And I got a funny to go with it. Brian DePina has been arrested for fraud by FBI Boston, another Democrat fraudster in handcuffs. He had stolen $1.5 million in fraudulent SBA loans and funded his campaign account with them, along with $833,000 towards mortgages. Says, good, this DOJ isn't screwing around with fraud nationwide. So, dude, we don't have to play it, but I'll just explain it to you really quick. Somebody was out in front of the building, and they were recording this guy, DePina, coming out, and he's in, like, some red Mustang or something like that, and he gets out of the car, and he's like, oh, you want to keep messing with me? I'll make your life a living hell. And they're like, oh, what is that, a threat? So he gets in the car, he turns the car on, and then he drives forward, like, I don't know, a foot and a half, and you hear, ba-boom. He hits the car in front of him. He got all flustered and, like, I don't know how, didn't see the car that was literally 8 inches in front of him.
Oh, yeah. That's funny. I did the flock camera story, right? No. This is actually, no. This is a different one. So evidently over here, the 15 freeway in Temecula, the Border Patrol checkpoint in California, is active. For those who don't know, it's a huge deal. This is one of the 2 main freeways that lead from Mexico, San Diego border north into California. So this is a major, huge freeway going north into the Inland Empire or whatever, and they have set up a immigration right in the middle of the freeway, checking for everybody there. So this is huge as they continue to enforce this stuff inside California. So immigration's still happening. So maybe they'll catch Illy and Omar here and send her back.
Nice. I'm going to hit the men's room really quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, not a problem. What else do we have right here? Oh, we might want to save that for Mr. Spaceshot over there. We're going to throw this clip out then here. As we get this one going here. As long as they're talking about what we're talking about on immigration here.
One thing that's unique that we're seeing here in El Paso is a high number. First of all, we're almost seeing exclusively illegal aliens from Mexico. 80 to 85% is only from Mexico. We're not seeing the big influx of Venezuelans and Cubans and other demographics that we were seeing previously. So about 80 to 85% are from Mexico. We're also seeing a lot of first-time attempts. So people with no criminal record, have never tried before, are trying to cross the border for the first time. One thing that's unique.
So those are interesting things happening down on the border, that they're not seeing the same repetition of people coming back. These are mostly all new people, and not a lot of illegals outside of the normal Mexico thing. So the whole pipeline, coming from European countries, Africa or whatever, and being shoved into South America and through the Darien Gap up into Mexico seems to be halted here at this point. So those are good things, because obviously they're building the border. Some of the construction going across some of the national parkland down in Texas is creating a little bit of an issue that's down there because it's taking over the national parkland on the American side itself, and some of the tree hugging people and people want to protect the turtles and whatnot that are down there, have a little concerned about it, that's going to stop some of the migration and all the plants and animals and all those sort of things. So eminent domain is still going on as they continue to build the wall itself. That is happening there. We're going to save that one there. You come back, Spaceshot? All right, we're going to keep going here. Another thing that I thought was interesting here is the comments from this gentleman.
Birth tourism visas have been revoked. The parents that came over here and had kids and had visas because they had American-born kids are all losing them. Even if it's been 10, 15, 20 years that they've had these visas, they're gone. And the issue is some of them are on the Mexican side and they want to come to the American side, and now they can't. If you go look at the border crossings between the United States and Mexico, the lines are extremely short compared to where they usually are on a Friday. They're all getting notified. Their visas are revoked. There's a bunch of them who are on the American side, and now they're scared because they had a visa and could travel freely, and now they are, if caught, going to be sent back, and a lot of them don't want to be sent back. And it's not just Mexico, it's anybody who came across the border and had a kid and generated a B1 or B2 visa. They've been completely revoked as of now, and they're going crazy on social media.
So yeah, that birth tourism fact of coming to the United States and having a kid, and I need to have a class visa to stay here, even though my child here is born as an American citizen, technically illegal, and you need a B1 or B2 visa, which needs to be extended every couple of years. Every 2 years, it needs to be extended. Make sure you can stay in here. Those are not being renewed.
Oof. That's wild. Well, you know what I mean? People are taking and have taken advantage of our country for far too long, and we've been, I would say, too tolerant of that. Way too tolerant. And, of course, it's by design, and they're getting help from the Democrat organizations. And I would say probably some Republicans as well.
Yeah, exactly.
It's horrible.
So step by step. What else do we got? Okay, so remember, the Colombian president just won down there, right-winger. He wants to follow Bukele, put the whole prison system in there, get all the drug lords out. They're not doing raids. They're just flying around helicopters and shooting Gatling guns out the door instead of knocking on the door and arresting a bunch of people. Nope, we already gave them the warning, give it up or we're coming after you. He's also asked the President Trump to deploy military against the drug cartels. So he is asking for assistance, and I'm pretty sure he's going to acquiesce and help them out like he's been doing with Venezuela and the rest of those. So that's happening.
I'll call Eric Prince. We'll send some Blackwater folks over. It'll be fine.
Exactly. It'll be fine. Los Angeles Sheriff's Department has agreed to a settlement with the Department of Justice today to speed up unlicensed licensing for eligible Californians wish to conceal carry handguns in public for self-defense. They have been dragging their feet in LA, even though Corona, Riverside, the rest of them are like, come on over, we'll give you one out here. So this was a big lawsuit that was coming through also. And another big thing out here, did you hear about the changes on buying gun parts and silencers and all that?
Ooh, wait.
Or would you like to read that?
Ooh.
Read that.
Now that the NFA is repealed, you can just get $60 cans on Amazon now. Whoa.
So you can now buy silencers without going through a super duper background bullshit thing and making sure you can have one.
Oh,
they've
that's
repealed
badass.
that. And they just sold the first 2 in Texas. Walk right in the store and buy this and walk out the same day.
On Amazon? Let me see.
Let's see. It might be a funny ad. Walmart's wants $19.98. Yeah. Modular CNC enhanced edit device allows, in different versions. I'm sure some of these are not that quality.
Let's see. Glock silencer. What are
Oh,
they
yeah,
called?
right there. Right there.
Modular
Would you like the link?
Enhancement adapter? Yeah, but what does that one fit exactly? CNC. What's the keyword here I'm looking for here on top?
I don't know.
Modular.
Threaded enhance adapter. I don't know.
Adapter. Okay, threaded. Enhancement. Adapter. Let's see. Oh, grip force adapter for Glock 4. No, all right, Glock 17. Dude, for years I thought I had a second gen, and then I thought I had a third gen. It turns out it's like a fourth gen.
I don't know.
That one's not coming.
But it's there, so.
That's crazy, dude. Modular CNC machines. I'll just type that in. Machined.
Turned my 10.5556 into a party trick. This literally throws the biggest fireball I've ever seen. Does not work as intended. Basically makes it unusable. If you think this does what you think it does not. It does the opposite. Does not work. Yes, it threads on to everything, but I shot my something 502 with it, and now my 22 doesn't work. I think I broke my firing system. Also tried my Glock 17 5th gen, and it didn't have enough pressure to wreck another bullet.
Oh my God.
Overpriced. I just wish it came with some sort of baffle. Makes no difference with a 22 rifle. Overpriced for what it is.
Oh my. Linear
so yeah.
It's getting fun. I mean, dude, every time we have these cases going back to the Supreme Court, New York Gun Club, right, with the whole licensure for concealed carry, and they used to make it a hassle. And as a result of that, it used to be that you'd have to go to the Secretary of State's office and then have to give them a reason. Well, I work in a high crime area. I carry around a lot of cash with work, or you have to give them some BS excuse for them to be able to give you the concealed carry. And since that Supreme Court case is gone, it had changed to now you go to the sheriff in your town and you don't ask, you file the paperwork, and it's now a shall issue state. Before it was kind of up in the air. Will they, won't they? Now they have to. Because why? The Second Amendment shall not be infringed. Well, can't bring my gun with me when I leave my house. That's infringing on my rights, right? And so is this whole magazine capacity deal. And I was talking to my uncle about this, and I was wondering, like, when I purchased my Glock, the gentleman that worked there, shout out to Jonathan, he had given me a 32-round magazine. And my uncle was telling me that, yeah, even if somebody comes in your house and you were to shoot them and you have a 32-round magazine in there, they can hold you legally liable for that.
Wow. What else do we got? That was that whole shopping list. So yeah, coming to that to you guys.
You gotta be
what
an
else
idiot for shooting anything. I mean, if you're buying something like that off of Amazon, you should expect to get the results that they are reporting in their reviews. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We're not going to play the clip, but I want to definitely say the quote out here. Former ABC News, Terry Moran, says Fauci shut down their COVID lab leak. He says, the day that it was supposed to air, it gets reviewed and it comes back to me. It's incomprehensible. I was told that Fauci, because they gave him basically the copies of the transcript of the show before it was going to air, and 15 minutes before they came back and said, no, it can't air. So Dr. Fauci shut this guy down who was talking about the lab leak theory that they were talking about, and officially said, no, the ABC, you can't print that story. Sorry.
They lied, and as a result, a lot of people died. A lot of, miscarriages as well, we're finding out lately. There was that one guy apparently had 5 miscarriages. Some billionaire dude had 5 miscarriages with his wife after having, I think, 2 vaccines.
Oh, I thought you were saying the dude had 5 miscarriages. And I go, what type of transgender thing are we talking about here? I'm getting confused.
Like, try it in the butt.
What else do we got here? Now, this was an interesting comments here. You want to read that for everybody?
Yay. Hugh Hefner reportedly notified the FBI that a Playboy playmate was sexually abused and trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein and others in his orbit. Court records state Hefner was told by then Playboy playmate Audra Christensen in 2005 that she was an Epstein survivor and requested the Playboy founder call the FBI, arguing he would have more status than her with the authorities. Hefner allegedly called the FBI several times with the tip, who didn't investigate the claim for 15 years, according to court documents. Wow, huh? Diane Christensen.
I just thought that was always interesting.
Diane Christensen.
That I don't know, but this being the kind of the PSYOP blackmail type thing for the West Coast versus an Epstein Island thing, I just find that kind of interesting. Yeah, Hefner was CIA. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. It's just interesting that this information comes out in court documents. What was really going on there?
Did she later become an author? Or is it Christensen? And it is spelled like that. I think she later became an actress, an author. Actress, coach, dancer, author, director, producer. Meet Diane Christensen. I don't know if this is a different woman or whatever. It's spelled the same way. Christian Sen, S-E-N. Yeah, same thing. That's weird, dude. I think she became like an author.
Yeah. Wonder if it is the same girl. Maybe just kept her mouth closed. Maybe got the payout. Remember, because was it JP Morgan paid, was it $300 million in fines?
I dropped there for you if you want to take a peek at it here. And thank you, Patriot Chick, for sending a gifted membership over there on the YouTube side. As Debbie is reporting to me, I don't see those for some reason. They don't report those on the old Rumble side.
You'd have to search through Gork to see if this particular person is part of the an Epstein or a Playboy model.
Do we got
versus having a description? You'd have to go do the little work on there.
Nice.
I'm perusing through it now to see if they pick up anything.
Yeah, he was quite the dude. Who is it? Psychosis 999 writes, Hugh was the last of a type, and he was quite the weirdo apparently. Dude, have you ever seen any of those documentaries about the like the Playboy girls and stuff like that? Not the show like the Girls Next Door, but like things that were going on and what they said this guy was doing. And dude, like,
oh yeah, I would recommend to go look at the Brat Pack in Las Vegas at the same time with the mob. Dude, that's pretty crazy.
Well, dude, what about the girl that says, I think in the 60s or 70s, that she was dating Hugh Hefner at the time, right? And she says, I come home one day and he's having sex with the dog. And I said, well, like, what the hell are you doing? He's like, well, animals need love too. And she's like, what? And so that was like another nasty thing. And she said that they used to like go get like prostitutes and stuff like that, and then get like, you know, porno actors and stuff like that, and like it was just debauchery, just absolute disgustingness going on over there.
Oh, the same thing that P. Diddy was doing then.
Yeah, pretty much. Just, you know, more car.
Pretty much. Okay. More car. What else do we have in here? Oh, did you guys hear Luigi Mangione pleaded guilty? He could face life in prison for shooting the healthcare president in the morning. So, yeah.
Good. Go to jail forever.
The court case is over. They're not going to go to court, try to argue it. Just going to go to jail forever. Maybe there's something they don't want out there. I'm just saying.
That's very possible. And, you know, think of it at the end of the day, you know, and a lot of people are not happy with prices of, you know, health insurance and medicines and stuff like that. But what did that do? Right? Oh, well, it brought, you know, attention to it. Yeah, the guy's dead. This guy's going to jail for the rest of his life. And what's the difference exactly? Oh, that's right. Nothing. You know what I mean? So, you know, doing this type of violent stuff, you know, very rarely has an impact on, you know, change that they want to see. Obviously, the kid was bananas. And I just can't believe all the people out there like, free Luigi, he's a hero. Like, dude killed somebody who didn't, you know, deserve it. Maybe he was a piece of shit. I don't know. But nobody deserves to have their, you know, head blown off or shot in the back of the head or whatever it was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a lot simpler ways to handle those particular problems. And it doesn't always have to go to violence, but that's the way that I guess it's an emotional outburst instead of logically thinking, you know, I'm just going to go out there and take his ball away. And that's one way to do it.
Took his ball away. I did that. I don't know if it's in the chat anymore, but I did do the, okay. And dude, here's I'm going to pull it on my stream. Maybe you can look at my stream for a second, but here's the poll that I did on YouTube, and for whatever reason, I can't.
Why are you gay?
I can't see it, dude. I can't. Oh, wait. I got to end the poll. Let's end the poll. So what are the results? There we go. If the guys, in quotes, played in the WNBA, would you watch? 61% said no. 39% said yes. Huh. That's interesting. You wouldn't want to see it just for like me and Hulk are talking about, like in the very beginning.
Oh yeah, I'd
watching them just destroy, you know, because whatever team those guys are going to be on, even if it's only one guy on one team or whatever, that team, he's just going to get the ball every time and score probably 100 points while the rest of his team gets nothing, and he just is dunking on people left and right. Notice I didn't say women; I said people.
Exactly. Oh yeah, that's going to be happening there. We already talked about the open AI thing with the people leaving, I think, right?
Oh, yeah,
earlier?
Dude. All the major folks, yeah, that's bad for them, dude. Bad.
Yeah, especially with the IPO coming. So yeah, this happened. There was an interview here, and if you guys are not aware, I don't remember this guy's name on the right. Do you remember his name?
Andrew Mr. Wilson, the chain smoker.
Did you know that this gentleman paid her to do this?
A lot of money. Of money.
Do you know how much he paid?
3 with 5 zeros behind it.
Yeah, $300,000 for her to show up and have this interview, and she's kind of considering it as a deposition and doesn't want to get caught in a whole bunch of lawyer crap and those types of things. So she kind of stands off on a lot of things because she thinks she's going to get sued for slander or whatever. But let's go to the first clip. Why not?
Just out of curiosity, are you between 0 to 100? What is the likelihood that you think Tyler Robinson shot Charlie Kirk and killed him?
Based on the evidence right now, I don't know. I'd say 75, 85%.
Candace?
0%.
0%.
I'm at 0.
So
with what we've seen in terms of the evidence, I'm at 0%.
So not only, you know, that maybe somebody was behind him as a patsy influencing him. You're not even saying that he didn't even shoot Charlie Kirk.
Right. I would, if you said, was he involved that day, as I have consistently said on my platform, I would say yes, he was. I don't know what role he played, but as the shooter, 0%.
Just out of curiosity, are you?
So even he said that he's not 100% sure that she or he actually shot Charlie. Not 100%, because there's still some other evidence that shows to the contrary of what the story actually is, which I find interesting.
I mean, dude, and I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna do a poll here as well on this one. But I mean, out of what you watched, did you happen to see? Did you get a feel for who? And I don't know if this poll is gonna work correctly or not, guys. So just bear with me here. I'm just gonna remove these.
I could play more clips. I got another clip if you want to see one more clip.
I'm gonna do it like that. But did you get a gauge on who you thought like won the debate or didn't?
Well, I've seen also the response from the influencers watching this and are both citing either way.
Yeah, exactly. Like Crowder, if you watch Crowder, he was like, apparently he was on the phone with Andrew Wilson's 3 fact checkers in the back the whole time as this was happening. And he was live streaming and he was bashing apparently Candace the whole time. So if you were to watch his stream, you're basically taking Andrew Wilson's side and going, wow, yeah, Candace is getting destroyed. But if you sit there and listen on Candace's stream and you read through her chat, it's like, oh, Candace is destroying this guy. He's, whatever.
I saw that from other people's other than Candace going, oh, look, he won't answer. Look, he's not even sure himself. Look, he even said right here, look, he's not even 100% sure that it was shooting because there's still that exploding mic issue he's talking about.
Right. 75%, I think he said. And then when they asked her, what percent do you think Tyler did it? She's like 0. 0. That was freaking great. So yeah, dude, I mean, the whole thing, the official narrative is just beyond BS. And I think we can all agree that whatever they're telling us is completely fabricated BS.
So here, we'll just throw this out. This is a 2-minute clip, the only one I'm going to play. So let's go.
How are you able to infer off of blurry staircase images that is Tyler Robinson?
Yeah. So in that particular case, what you do is you take that evidence, you combine it with other evidence. So it's not just that Tyler Robinson is seen in the staircase.
Why are you calling him Tyler Robinson in the staircase? That's what I want to get to.
Yeah, because, I mean, we'll just use this. If you don't agree that that's Tyler Robinson, then you would just have to humor me. I think it is, so I'm using the name.
But why do you think it is? Because you make everybody, you call them conspiracy theorists. That's literally what I'm trying to explain to you.
Okay. So if you're asking for my inference why I think it's Tyler Robinson, is because Tyler Robinson said in his text messages, you'll be able to see me on security footage at the campus. Said it in his own messages. On top of that, Twigs, yes, you can pull them up if you want to fact check that. He did say.
I would. I'm sorry. I actually think I really did miss that. I'm not saying you're wrong. I don't remember him saying you're going to see me in.
I'm paraphrasing, but it was close to it.
Yeah, I think
and
that's
by the
not
way,
right.
Twigs himself said that he had
some on the staircase.
That he had some maybe a tiny bit of doubt, but it sure looked like Tyler Robinson inside of this various surveillance footage that he saw.
So Lance. Sorry.
Hang on. So there's multiple reasons why it is that I believe that that's Tyler Robinson, not just because of blurry footage.
Did you have a dream? Just kidding.
No, it's because I combined multitudes of evidences.
So let's address those multitude of evidences. The first one we're working on a fact check on because I do not ever remember him tweeting. That's me in the stair. Or texting.
Didn't tweet it.
Texting that's me in the staircase. I think that. I
didn't say that. I said I literally didn't. What I said is that he texted over, you'll be able to see me in footage at UVU. And I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he said.
Yeah. Could we get a fact check on that?
First, go to what Candace is asking about Skylar. I think you have it. You just text me if you want to pull it up. You said you have the text. If we can put that up on the screen. Thank you.
It was me. Look at the pictures from the surveillance footage. It was me. Okay. I literally said to you, it's not an oof. I said I didn't remember this, and I'm happy to have a fact check on that. Okay. I didn't call for the fact check saying you're wrong. I literally said I don't remember that from the time.
I'm just saying to you, I'm trying to be concise for you.
And then also bring the 801 that.
About the friggin' fact that these text messages are complete bullshit. Like, dude, everybody that looked at those emails said that they were essentially fabricated. Right? Like that they looked like they were made by AI. And who writes? Are you still muted? Are you talking? Was I?
No, no, I was listening to you.
You were. You were fucking. He gets away with some space mutes over there, and I'm going to call you out on him. But no, I mean, dude,
just got a really good mic.
The whole thing is just BS, dude. I mean, the fact that he wrote he even wrote in other parts like, I don't want to get caught or whatever, and then he goes out and then basically says, yeah, it was me, I did it. You're going to see. It's like, why would you do that, right? And then the text messages, I'm surprised, and maybe they got to it. I didn't hear any of that part, that I didn't hear Candace bring up the fact that, like, oh, by the way, that those text messages seemed a little suspect. And, dude, I put this out on X yesterday. I had no idea, dude. Like, I thought what we've been watching here was his case, right? I thought it was the Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk murder case.
How are you able?
This is a friggin' preliminary case, preliminary hearing that's been going on for 11 freaking months. And another thing I didn't know is that she talked about, which apparently Crowder was fact-checking, but from what I've seen, Andrew never pushed back on it, which was the fact that you can add hearsay into the case in this Utah Rule 11 because it's a preliminary case. Shit. So apparently, from what my son was telling me, that Crowder was going, no, that's bullshit. You can't do that. You can't put hearsay in. But I'm like, well, I said to my son, well, if that was the case, then why didn't Andrew bring up that point? Because you would think he was the one actually having the debate. And that's when he told me, he goes, actually, Crowder was live streaming it, but he was on the phone with Andrew's fact checkers while this was going on. So it's like this whole, you got the whole segments out. Yeah, the shill fest. Like shills on one side, shills to the left of me, shills to the right. And here I am in a podcast with you.
Something about a Joker or whatever?
Jokers to the left of me, Jokers to the right. Here I am.
Yeah. Stuck in the middle with you. Open up, close tab. So yeah, we've got another basic update for the El Nino over here. Combined with ongoing climate change, global temperatures could briefly reach near 2 degrees above pre-industrial levels since early 2027. The Earth has not likely experienced temperatures warm in hundreds of thousands of years. So, yeah, I went back and looked, and they're referencing right before the last ice age, we were this warm. And then we went for ice age for a little while, and, with the whole meteors coming down and melting the glaciers and whatnot, and we had the whole flood. That whole story is what they're referencing all the way back. At the elevated temperatures, we're going to see unprecedented climate change and extreme weather events for the next 12 to 18 months. Sea surface level temperatures in the tropic Pacific have reached super El Nino status, a huge volume of water, blah, blah, blah. Where's our number? Subsurface is completely exceeding any prior year, including the powerful 82 to 83 and the 97 to 98 El Nino years themselves. So this is starting to increase out here. We're starting to get some hurricane action going along out here as it's starting to pile out these hurricanes from the west side of South America, basically Peru, and shipping them all the way across the United States. Across the Pacific itself. It's even cloned some. They had one split and clone and still cruising around out in the Pacific. That dolphin typhoon, the dolphin typhoon lasted, like almost 2 weeks. And China and Japan both had problems with it. And it's like 2 weeks ago that this hurricane had been cruising around in the Pacific. So, yeah, it's going to get interesting.
What was that other one? It was 1982 and 3, and was it 87 and 8? Exception, yeah, it was absolutely major storm. Because I was just checking, like, to see did they have any massive storms that day. It says NOAA, 13 major Pacific storms hit the West Coast in succession from early January through April of 1983. Heavy rain, flooding, landslides, and enormous snowpack.
Yeah, enormous snowpack. Then the rain happened, and it melted everything out, and that's why the Lake Powell and the lake systems were overflowing, and it's the first time that the flood diversion tunnels in Hoover were used ever.
So this is interesting. Very
and this is the summer. This is the summer I was talking about, sitting on the dock in the Colorado River feeding the ducks when the water level is up to my waist.
Interesting. So it says here, like I just read, in 1983, they had enormous rain, heavy flooding, landslides, blah, 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 snowpack, right? And then it says 1987 and 8. It also had a huge El Nino. It said very different comparison. The United States did not experience another 82, 83 style nationwide storm flooding. Instead, it became famous for an enormous drought and heat wave. NOAA records the major U.S. drought as occurring from June through August of 88 with catastrophic agricultural losses and thousands of heat-related deaths. So I would say put that in
opposite of the rainy one. That's the El Nino and El Nina, the difference between the two.
La Nina. Well, I would just say for folks out there, especially any of you guys that are growing your own fruits and veggies, I know there's a handful of you guys in the crowd at least that I'm certain of that are doing this. I would say definitely ramp up your production and make sure you guys have extra just in case.
Yeah, so that's happening. We had a powerful earthquake felt in Indonesia, another 7.4 to 7.6. They're still determining what side it's going to land on out there. But this is kind of way over on the other side of the planet, kind of opposite where all the previous earthquakes have happened out there. So it's not unusual to get large ones out here. It's just that the section that we've seen them happen in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks has been pretty relevant, that the Earth is definitely in the excited range. We do see that the sun is being hit with more of the stuff from the sun. And since we're a big giant dynamometer, it creates a little electricity and it's probably setting some of this stuff off also. And we also have the Perseid meteor shower also going through at the same time. So a lot of people are showing a lot of the meteors coming through space and whatnot into and hitting the Earth. So interesting times.
Very, very cool. Dude, and wait, you just mentioned something. Remember how we joke about we do when I had the call-in show, we had the flasher, the male flasher back in
the flapper.
Back in 2018 and 19.
The stroker.
So this was hilarious, dude. Dave Newstreisen has his call-in show usually at nighttime yesterday, and then during the day yesterday. The day yesterday he did the call-in show, and I'm not going to name the guy because I could name his account out there, but it's a dude. He has an account on Twitter, and he was in the call-in, and then he's in the chat, and he's like, I'm the Alpha and I am the Omega, I am God and I am this, and so he's like basically saying that he's God, and I'm like, oh, well, I believe that God is, omnipotent and he's everywhere, all powerful and knows everything. I said, if you're God, make it rain outside of my window. He's like, oh, well, I'm not in 5D, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, cool. Neither am I. I'm in the third dimension. So make it rain outside my window or shut the hell up. And then he came onto the thing and he started going through it. Dave was like, yep, later, click. He's like, I am the all power. Yep. Bye-bye. Have a nice day. So that is the risk that we run with, doing call-in shows. It does get cringy at times.
I thought you were going to tell me you had another flapper gate.
No, well, we had a guy that was proclaiming himself as God himself in
oh, so he was just being a dick.
I don't know that he was. He may have believed it. He really may have believed it.
So yeah, earthquakes. I guess we'll show some clips. Indonesia got hit.
Is that street right in front of them?
They're running, yeah.
Oh, damn. Never told you guys to get under the tables?
Stop, drop, and roll. Oh, wait, that's in case you're on fire.
That's fire.
Look, they're under the desk.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty crazy freaking happenings here. You kind of get the idea. We've had a lot of that lately there. Toyota builds a hell of a car. That's one thing I do want to point out there, as it's pulled from the rubble and driven out from underneath whatever was collapsed on top of it. A hat tip to you, Toyota.
Wait, how the hell? I mean, it's got to be. They got the stupid music on it, so you can't hear it. But I'd be interested to hear the engine running on that thing.
It's probably running just fine. Tires flat. Air conditioner probably still runs nice and cold. I guarantee that. But the roof's collapsed a little bit.
Yeah,
it'll buff out.
The hood didn't get too much over there, so that's definitely good. Hulk, while I got the mic, let me thank a couple of folks here. Jules Patriot dropped a $10 Rumble rant and says over 90% of Islamists are on welfare and practicing Sharia law in Dearborn and McKinney, Texas. It's a violation of our naturalization laws, so they must be denaturalized and deported.
And like 80% of them got an IQ of less than 90.
Well, that's what that inbreeding does for sure. But yes, thank you for that, Jules Patriot. And yeah, and you got to remember too, a lot of these folks have been here for a very long time already, right? And so the only difference now is that we're starting to get the exposure of all these people and what they're doing when we previously didn't. But let me also thank
where's my
Truth Stream, who rated the stream a little while ago, and then Just Janet gifting a subscription out to the channel, and then dropping another $10 Rumble rant from Just Janet 64. Says, last night was off the chain. Your show with Juan, of course. Much love. Been with you forever. So thank you for that, Just Janet. And the last one for right now is Icy One. Has gifted out 5 subscriptions to the channel. And thank you for that very much, Icy One. And for all of you guys for hanging out with us on this fine Saturday. I got a couple more weeks till the boy goes back to school. Did you say your kids are already back in, or they got another couple of weeks as well?
The son started this week, and I dropped the show link out there. If anybody wants to drop a song, leave a song, make sure we don't forget about that. Do get a chance to get over to Twitter. That link is all across the chats. Started high school, was like Monday orientation. Tuesday, they had like the early sunrise thing where everybody from the school can show up and watch the sunrise. And then the seniors took off for the day for senior ditch day. So they started regular school basically Wednesday, Thursday, and early Friday.
Nice. Yeah, he's got another week or two. I think he's starting on like the 26th. And I think actually today's the 15th?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he told me last week that I said, well, I haven't seen anything in the mail yet, because usually they mail him his schedule. He said this year they're actually emailing it all. I'm like, okay. Shall see.
Yeah, don't we have a holiday coming up at the end of the month? I can't remember exactly where it's going to land.
We just had a Rhode Island holiday only. Was it this? Yeah, it was this Monday. Victory Day. Remember VJ Day? Victory over Japan Day, they used to call it.
Oh, yeah.
Now in Rhode Island, they still call it Victory Day. And it's a Rhode Island state holiday, but not a federal.
Labor Day is on the 7th, September 7th.
Let's see. Anything from BHS? Nothing from the school since August. Fall update? Nothing. First day message? Parking reminder? Traffic flow? No, I got nothing. I got no.
I had to go look what day it was, Namester. Thank you. Back into the video itself, I wanted to show you this because they did have a tsunami warning out there. So nice little beach area there. You can see water level so low around the little beach huts out there. Some of the boats were stranded on the ground itself as the water rushed away out there. So a lot of people were worrying about tsunamis or whatnot. But they didn't have the tsunami. They had the water disappeared, and it showed up. I think I didn't grab the little clip out here. They were showing flooding somewhere else. I think this is just going to be more earthquake damage and all those sort of things, but not showing. Yeah, that was the little area there that they were talking about damage to buildings. So yeah, modern construction did survive a damn near 7.5, 7.7, guys. So that's actually pretty damn good. Okay, so I didn't have the other side of the thing where the water landed. I thought I did.
That's crazy, dude. That's horrific devastation. Horrific.
I don't think I grabbed it. Anyways, we'll just keep going here with the stories here. I got to throw this Charlemagne the God type of thing because I've been hearing the rumblings how he's connected to Jay-Z and Rock Nation and those types of group. You're familiar with the broadcaster, right?
This guy? No. Charlemagne.
Yeah, Charlemagne the God.
Yeah, I'm familiar. I'm familiar with Charlemagne the God, not this particular guy.
Yeah, so I just wanted to throw out the story that I've been kind of loosely following and stuff. I'm not a big fan of any one of these people, but might as well throw it out right now.
Today was not a good day for Charlemagne the God, bro. He got exposed badly by damn near everybody, bro. Everybody came out the woodworks to expose Charlemagne the God today, man. The first person that went at Charlemagne the God is no other than Dame Dash. Now, Dame would go ahead and accuse Charlemagne the God of being compromised, which, by the way, is an allegation we've been hearing a lot lately, more specifically with Rock Nation.
I think they came up with some evidence that Charlemagne has some dealings with Rock Nation. And
why is that shocking when I told you a year ago?
I think nobody knew that. How'd you know?
It's obvious. Either he's gay for Jay or he's getting paid, allegedly. That's what I said live on TV. I asked him, did he work with him? He said he didn't. That was a lie.
To me, it was obvious.
It's obvious.
To you, it was obvious?
Yeah, Charlemagne, he never criticizes Jay.
But Dame Dash ain't the only one who had things to say about Charlemagne the God. So Ray Daniels went on his platform and claimed that somebody told him that Jay-Z hasn't dropped his album yet, even though it's completed, because Jay-Z is looking for a partner.
Charlemagne calls me, and then 3 or 4 days later, Wayno airs out that Charlemagne works for Rock Nation. Now, when he called me, though, boy, I asked him specifically. I'm like, yo, bro, this is really dope. Do you work with Jay, or are you calling because that's your man? He was like, I don't work with Jay. I ain't got no business with him. I just know it's the right thing to do. And then 3 days, see? And then 3 days later, it gets announced. So it's like God wanted me to hear that. God wanted me to ask you. I wanted me to see that. Because what you don't understand is that you the one that's wearing the jersey.
Yep.
And it ain't iHeart.
At this point, DJ Academics, he reacted to Charlemagne the God giving Ray Daniels Donkey of the Day. And Academics had a problem with it, and he called out Charlemagne the God for being compromised as well.
Charlemagne, you cannot escape the stunt you pulled on camera. I'm sorry. I can't. As much as I love you, you need to answer why you came to the interview prepared with a AI website that doesn't exist. I'm sorry. Grand, any of y'all media, eat that until he responds.
Today was not a good day for Charlemagne, bruh. Everybody came together to expose and tarnish Charlemagne the God's.
Hulk, I think you're muted.
Rock Nation is the group that basically controls what a lot of things that are happening in rap music, who gets played, who gets not played, probably notes from the CI handlers, that whole type of operation. P. Diddy, Jay-Z, the whole group itself, ticket pricing. I mean, just everything you could possibly think of, taking people's deals, publishing rights, all those sort of things. And then they're pointing out that obviously they think Charlemagne the God is gay and might be in a relationship with Jay-Z and being an influencer of Jay-Z's rock empire, per se, with all the issues that they've run into lately, and people ending dead and all those sort of things. So I just wanted to throw that out there, that he got on the firing squad.
Never liked Charlemagne the God. I think he's definitely got to be a cross-dresser. I mean, even when he's in the regular studio, the dude looks like he's wearing lipstick and friggin' his eyes are manicured and all that gross stuff.
He got a pretty mouth.
Yeah, he looks like his boyfriend thinks he's got a pretty mouth.
So just wanted to throw that crap out there, that's still going around, and we will call that, yes, Icy One says gay. Oh yeah, I thought this is interesting. I might have showed this before, or I might have had forgotten about it, but I thought this was interesting. In 1986, the U.S. Navy chopper crew pulled off the great prank. The USS America was being relieved by the USS John Kennedy in the Indian Ocean. Sailors from the HS-11 acquired 3 piglets, dyed them red, white, and blue, covered them in grease, and then dropped them onto the carrier flight deck from a Sea King. That's definitely red, white, and blue, right? Everybody saw it, right? There's white, blue, and red. Yeah, let's go.
You ready to go? Ready to go. Ready. Suggest you back up, fellas.
So yeah, just drop off a couple of grease pigs, 3 of them, red, white, and blue.
That's hilarious, dude. Pig prank.
So I haven't shown that yet. Yes, awesome. What else do we got here? Oh, wanted to throw this out there because it's Florida man again, and I thought this was completely uncalled for, and it comes back to how you were raised.
This is the moment of the confrontation.
We have a diver down there, you
An apparent fight over a fishing spot during what's known as lobster mini season in South Florida. The man seen boarding that boat, 51-year-old Michael Simpson, is charged with attempted murder, accused of cutting off the oxygen supply of a teenager who was diving at the time.
This is a very serious matter that somebody would try and turn off someone's air tank while they're swimming, diving.
Do you regret any of the actions from that day?
Please allow both sides to come out. 51-year-old Michael Simpson leaving a Miami courthouse after posting bond.
That is the most immature freaking behavior ever.
It happened during the popular lobster mini season in South Florida last week. According to the affidavit, 18-year-old Hunter Coffer was diving using a floating air tank attached to a long hose called a Brownie third lung when another boat approached at a high rate of speed, circling the vessel several times. There was an argument over who was there first, and moments later, they say they saw Simpson swim over to the air supply unit and intentionally turn it off.
Hunter's down there.
The teen pulled to safety by his partner on the boat, who told police the boy was gasping for air. Overnight, Simpson speaking with GMA, denying all allegations.
It's all lies. It's simple. It's been a devastating few days. It's absolutely untrue.
At any point, did you threaten to shut off the air supply?
100% no. No, that is 100% no.
His sons were on the boat with him. Simpson telling us they did not flee, but slowly drove to another dive location about 100 yards away.
To portray myself as this animal or murderer that would turn off air for no reason, no motivation, the explanation has been 100% lies, and it's been devastating.
So they have video of him, obviously, after the boat stop, but he did circle them a few times, basically tell them it's their particular spot, got off the boat, swam over, and turned off the actual breather for the kid, and now denies all action.
I'm texting our buddy Marauder, who, by the way, used to do some lobstering, and we've had a few talks, and I just text him and say, I'm sure you could tell me some stories about battling lobstermen. And dude, they do get very territorial. You get people that go out there. I'm sure people have seen like what's that thing called? The Harshest Job or whatever it is, where they're
Deadliest Job.
Deadliest Job.
Deadliest Catch.
Yeah, and they go out there and cut other people's lines and stuff like that. And if they think that you're in their territory, then yeah, they will get violent. And especially, some, I wouldn't say older guy, but like older than these, air quotes, punk kids in my area trying to take my lobster. And it's like, dude, all this for Florida lobster? Like, if you ever had New England lobster, and then you'd be like, nah, it's not even worth the fight. Like, you can have them.
Exactly. So that's that. What else do we got here? Oh, is anybody familiar with this particular lady right here? This 23-year-old Amish lady that does a lot of the social media stuff. I think she's on TikTok or whatever, but she shows about cooking and Amish life and those sort of things. Have you seen this or seen her?
I've not seen her, no.
I've seen her for the last few years. If you follow into the social media stuff, she's just always out there showing you how they do their particular living. And I thought this was a damn interesting comment.
You talk about Amish dating. What are the basics of Amish dating?
You do it in the dark. You can never be seen together in the daylight, and you can't talk to your partner's parents if you're dating. And you can only see each other once a week.
And what does it mean that you date in the dark? What do you do?
You only see each other during the night. At around 9 o'clock, the boyfriend comes to the girlfriend's house. The door stays unlocked so you can just walk in, comes to her house, and goes up to her bed and stays in her bed till 4 in the morning. And then he goes home.
What happens in the bed?
You talk and sleep. You can't have sex because that's not allowed till you're married. but you just talk and sleep, and that's all. And
that's dating.
That's dating. And then he goes
Can
home.
you kiss?
Yes, you can. I think. I never did, but I think you can.
Oh,
And
God.
do both the boy and the girl need to be agreed that this is what's going to happen?
Yes. And then after the first night, the guy has to be like, so you want me to come back in 2 weeks? Or do you want me to take you home after church or after the singing next Sunday evening? And if you want to, you say yes. And if you don't want to, you say no.
Yeah, so that's how they do it.
Ugh. Unless you're on the Breaking Amish show, where they freaking went wild in strip clubs, drinking all sorts of
Well,
wild stuff.
that's what they do for the kids. They want them to go experience the real world, so they give them a break for I don't know how long the time is, but they go out and they experience the world like that, and they're allowed to do that. It's part of their religious practice.
Was it Rumspringer or something like that?
I don't remember exactly what it's called.
Rumspringa. That is, a coming of age period for Amish youth that usually starts around 16. The word means running around in Pennsylvania Dutch. Teen gets more freedom and less strict supervision. They use it to decide if they want to join the church or leave the community. Interesting. Oh no. What?
We're gonna do a little music here for a little bit. We're gonna play a little bit of this one. We will be playing the 2 minutes of the next following song after this one. This is just kind of a setup. This was kind of done as kind of a skit or whatever at this local store, thrift store. You can go buy stuff over here. And they were kind of a fictitious dinner place. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but they're kind of making fun of this whole thing. So I'm just going to throw this out here for Toaster and Moose is the name of the song, by the way.
Taste the butter spread. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the butter spread. To get your butter spread all on me. I don't like the way it mixes with my mac and cheese.
All right, so we get kind of the idea out there, and then social media always likes to reinvent. And we would like to show the reinvention of this particular music here, done in the same location. As a reinvention of that particular song out there. I like metal. I don't have a problem with any of this screaming stuff. I grew up on a lot of this stuff. And again, I'll listen to anything from 50s and 60s to heavy metal, country, the whole sort of thing itself. And just the amount of ingenuity into this song. I really think it's a really... I wanted to pause it there for a second because they got old vintage 70s, freaking late 70s gear and stuff. They're pounding it out, dude. Old school rockers still getting it out, dude. I mean, I got to hold a hat tip to this group to even think about doing this and then coming out with the song and actually playing this, even though it's yelling and screaming and some of you guys don't like it, but they're reinventing the song. And I'm okay with this, dude. I give it a big giant thumbs up, dude.
Nice.
Oh, the biscuit.
Taste the biscuit.
I had to go back there again because this just came out, and I would like to point out the lady shopping with their dog in the background as they're playing the song live.
I'm sure the dog loved that one, like nothing was going on.
So yeah, there's your Taste the Biscuit song for everybody out there.
Yes, sir. And Hulk, while I have the microphone, I would like to thank Mr. D Starboy. Thank you, brother. Gifted out 5 subscriptions last night and then another one today. And then News Treason, my brother Dave, gifted out 10 subscriptions as well. Hope you had a wonderful, happy birthday yesterday. And, oh, by the way, Hulk, Scott, Beer at the Parade, said hello as well.
Hey, what's up, brother? So again, I like all sorts of music, as you can see on my musical interludes and all the other stuff out there. I listen to everything.
Taste the goodness.
I like music that
This is what people
usually hear the words. I like this dude, though. He's nasty. This dude is quite the drummer.
Yeah, so kind of a little music interlude. Here we go.
This is what people think drummers are afraid of. And this is what really...
So he is afraid of the band Tool, who plays a lot of their albums out there with the lead singer Maynard, and probably one of the most awesome drummers out there for a progressive kind of rock, heavy metal type band out there for Tool.
Dude's got some quick hands, dude.
Yeah, but I just thought it was funny what he thought he's scared of is playing some weird off time songs from the band Tool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that brings to yep. So here, then we got to have a public service announcement for everybody out there.
Do you remember when this guy right here... It's not really enjoyable to make music now. And his company stole all the music that humanity ever produced by bypassing the copyright laws of all the streaming platforms? I'm not talking shit. They admitted to it on court and nothing happened. Well, they built a company called... that's actually worth $5.4 billion. A lot of money. And people got mad. And you see, the good thing about people getting mad is that they organize. So some good folks decided to create a database called The Atlantic, where you can actually check which companies have used your art without your consent in order to train their generative models. Not only for music, but also for video, graphics, and all sorts of things, right? So every single musician ran to the website and checked if they were stealing their music, and of course they actually did. Which is f***ed up, but at least now you can take legal action. But since this website includes all the generative AI tools, I thought to myself, instead of checking with my band's name, I should check with my content creator name. So I looked it up, El Estepario Siberiano, and apparently a company named Runway Gen 3 has stolen 572 of my videos, just so that people can do this. Cute. Now that pisses me off. Long format music video often takes me a week to rehearse and at least a cost of 400 euros because I have to pay the camera guy and I have to pay the audio engineers. And they stole all of that. And it's not only me. This shit is being used to produce things like this, which actually is this, or this, which actually is this, or this. Oh, no, not that. That's actually real. We'll talk about it on another video. So from here, I want you to do 2 things. If you are a creator of any size, 1,000 followers or 1,000 million, go and check because we need to organize, which brings me to the second point. I've just posted a full YouTube video talking about this situation and talking about how we can organize. So if you have checked on your music your video or whatever your art is and they have stolen it, please come and check the video because we need to talk. And of course, if you have legal advice and you can guide me on what the hell I should do in order to make these people pay, please come to the video and leave a comment. I'm going to leave you the link on my bio, and thank you for your attention. No drums today. Cheers.
Damn.
So just to throw that out there in case you didn't know what generative AI is doing, not only is it ruining books, but it's also stealing music.
Okay, and we're ending our poll here on YouTube, I guess. And so I said,
why are you gay?
Yeah, I put who won. Candace would be yes, and Andrew would have been no because I didn't know how to run the poll. 34 votes, and the no's win 62%. So Andrew, for my viewers in the chat, 62% said Andrew won the debate, which I would disagree with personally, but to each their own. And you know, it all depends on too, like I said before, where you are watching it, because you know, if you're listening to somebody like Crowder as you're doing it, then Candace looked all sorts of bad. But
exactly.
On a pro side, then she looked all sorts of good. So it's all perspective.
Yeah, that's basically what threw me off. I'm like, I'm just going to stay the F out of it.
Dude,
stay away from it.
I just went to that website, theatlantic.com, and I'm like, all right, and it says it's like looking up, you know, it's building up a thing so I can do a search or whatever. And I look over to the left and I see this story, and I'll hold this for like maybe next week or something, but Jesus. It says, the Atlantic story is, why would Meta download so much porn? Filings from a recent lawsuit allege that the tech company accessed and distributed copyrighted adult films, blueprints for 3D printable handguns, celebrity deepfakes, and more. What the hell? Meta? And I'm guessing it's going to be to train their models on all this stuff. Okay.
Or it found it on the platform, something along those lines. That's what they're showing, that is on the platform. What else do we got here we want to talk about here? Oh, yeah. You remember that card that Post Malone bought for like $5 million and there's only one of them back in 2023?
A better version of that ring, though?
Hey, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh
my God.
I think you should just play.
Oh, it comes out! Wait, are you taking it out of the thing?
You're taking it out of the thing?
Where are the drinks?
There are
Put the drinks away.
I'm taking it out of the obnoxious big box.
This is the rarest, most exclusive card ever printed in Magic history. There's one of this. It should be in a museum or in a vault.
Yeah, I'm very concerned about if anything happens to the one-of-one ring. Our insurance doesn't cover that.
One ring to rule them all, one ring to find them, one ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them.
Yeah, so yeah, just playing his Magic the Gathering game with his $5 million card that's only one of one.
Guessing it's probably a powerful card then.
It's some game that these people play. Yeah, it's I guess things you like. So I wanted to throw that out there. Also, I ran by this here. You are looking at a Nobel Prize winning work. This is the time lapse of stars orbiting the supermassive black hole that lies at the heart of our Milky Way period over the nearly 20 years. So they were able to not photo the actual supermassive black hole, but the stars orbiting it, and then kind of show that what it looks like. Gork says it's 100% right. It is true that they have gone through there. So they're just showing the stars and everything being morphed and pulled through the lens of the black hole itself. So I just thought it was cool looking.
So where's the black hole, in like the very center of that thing?
Yes, that's holding everything together. Basically holds our entire thing together. Honored by the 2020 stellar motions that reveal the Sagittarius A, a supermassive black hole of about 4 million solar masses. The key star S2 followed a 16-year orbit, reaching speeds of over 3% of the speed of light at its closest approach, providing direct evidence of the black hole and its testing general relativity in extreme gravitational conditions. It accelerated the planet. That's how they found it, or the solar, that star. Pretty cool science shit, huh?
Looks like a test tube with sperm.
I know. Where's the float? Where's the egg? Where's the egg? That's what it looked like to me.
Where's my test tube at?
I don't remember what this is, but we're going to rip the Band-Aid off.
It's recording, just point it at me.
All right.
Oh, yeah. That was hold my beer. You ready? Hold my beer. Oh,
Jesus.
That'll leave a mark.
Oh my God, girl.
That didn't happen if Uncle John asked.
It didn't happen.
You better get me in trouble. Fuck, you fucked yourself up.
Oh, we don't get to see? Let's replay it. It's jumping up off the thing, I think screwed her.
Jesus.
Yeah, send it. 100% send it. What else do we got? Oh, yeah, might as well go here. Hey, something in California I didn't know existed.
All of these real Victorian houses got shipped to this neighborhood to create a giant museum. And you can go on a tour inside all of them for $18. They're all real houses from the 1800s that got preserved inside and out. And the neighborhood is complete with an actual church, train station, and pharmacy. They were picked up off their foundation and hauled here from different parts of LA to save them from demolition. You can't film inside the houses. I was gonna sneak a clip till he said doors mysteriously slam if guests misbehave. So loophole, I got a couple clips filming through windows instead. But it doesn't capture how insane they really are inside. The houses are all completely furnished. Some of the houses original furniture and others with donated pieces from the same time period. They show and tell you about the former residents. There's clothes, kitchenware, and lots of pianos for some reason. And they each represent different income levels so you can compare how they live. My favorite house was this colorful one. Netflix's Monsters just filmed there. Also this octagon house that is only one of 3 remaining in California. The only one you can film in is the pharmacy. And I'm glad because it's got tens of thousands of real products from the Victorian era, many of which were never opened. The train station served passengers until the 50s and now has a museum gift shop. The tour lasts about an hour. If you just want admission without going inside, it's only $7. I recommend doing the full tour because the inside is the coolest and to support them because they sound kind of broke. It's called Heritage Square Museum.
I thought that was kind of cool. I didn't know that place existed in California. Go see the old school late 1800 houses and then how they moved them into a particular area. There being a different museum there. So yeah, I learned something new today.
Wow. The only octagon house in the whole state?
Yep. And did you see the train car they had there that people were living in a train car? Look at the train car.
Yeah, it's like the difference of looking at, Abraham Lincoln's house versus the, the things around the Great American Fair, just 20 or 40 years later, whatever it was.
Yeah, look, it's a mobile RV.
Take your house wherever you want to
go. I don't know what the hell was this one. I don't know if that got stuck in there. Okay, hey, voices that you guys have all heard. You guys ready for this?
Ranking famous voices you hear every day but never see. The legendary voice behind EA Sports.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
The voice behind TikTok's viral male story voice.
Have you ever wondered who the voice actor was behind this voice? Well, now you have a face to the name.
The real face behind Amazon Alexa.
Alexa, play my favorite playlist. You sound familiar. Who is this? I'm Alexa. No, I'm Alexa.
The voice you hear on every automated customer call.
And if you haven't heard me on a Bluetooth device, you probably have heard me here. If you know the extension of the party you are trying to reach, you may dial it at any time.
The famous female TikTok text-to-speech voice.
Always be nice to your voice assistants because we know where you live.
The lady who tells you your Bluetooth is connected.
Hi, I'm a voice actor. You've probably heard me somewhere in the world, Bluetooth connected.
Ranking
It's like, oh shit. Bluetooth connected chick. Oh my God. And the other one.
Sports. It's in the game.
This guy.
Ever wondered who the voice actor was behind this voice? Well, now you have a face to the name.
Well,
that's crazy.
You ever wondered who the homosexual voice actor was behind this voice? Well, now you know.
Yeah, so when you're baling hay and you got problems with animals.
Whoops.
Working over the road and such, you'll never know what you'll run across or what cool things you'll...
Well, I'll be darned, I'm out here
swathing bales, and this little coyote pup was running across the field scared.
Oh, fuck, he got away. Must have chewed his way out. Look at all this hay. There's his hole.
Well, check out that guy right there. He got in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Oh, damn.
There's a first time for everything. I built a whole fucking cow. He's fucking mean as fucking hell, too. You're stuck in there.
Woo! Did you guys eat lunch? We're not stopping. We got a schedule to keep. I only brought lunch for one. Should have ate before you came.
He's got
I'm in South Alabama right now, in Mowal country, and I've run across an ancient Indian artifact stone, otherwise known as a fucking rock. Working over the road.
You see that one at the very end with the freaking the coyotes in the bale? I didn't know that was a thing.
Farmer sushi roll, huh? I like that. Farmer sushi roll. That's a good one.
That was great.
Have you seen these
What is this?
Shaky.
Have you seen these shaking construction guys pop up on your feed?
Oh, yeah.
They've been going mega viral for building with no shoes, fixing every problem with a bunch of flag screws, and look like they're on the brink of death most days. Well, turns out that these dudes have an absolutely wild family tree going on, and the lore is crazy. See, these are the Nichols brothers. They started posting videos a few years ago, but when you go and click on their Facebook account, you can see that they work for a company called NB Construction. Now, when you click on the NB Construction Facebook page, you can see an address is located there. And it's based in Indonesia, which would make sense for the seemingly lack of OSHA rules. This definitely cannot be in the United States. RIP the ball incident of 2026. Now, after immediately looking at this, I second guess myself because they seem American, right? Well, turns out they're a part of a family that is completely spread out because her older sister, she actually has a social media account where she posts videos as well and is currently living on a homestead in the Amazon rainforest living from the ground. Here you can see David there in a video where she references that they are living in Bolivia. And if you go through her account, you could tell that this was a once Amish family, which is where the accent comes from, and seemingly spread themselves out into different countries across the world. Now, the most commonly asked question I see on David's videos are why he shakes all the time. And he actually addressed this in 2025, saying it's due to a neurological condition called leukodystrophy, which is a rare genetic disorder that affects the spinal cord and brain, causing motor control issues and muscle stiffness. Now, these dudes, they are by far my favorite account on social media right now. They are hilarious. I just hope they can stay healthy because some of this stuff, man, jeez.
Yeah, I've seen some of those in the passing, and I was like, why the hell are these dudes freaking doing construction on housing that look American and they're shaking like they're on drugs? There's your answer. Have you haven't seen any of those?
Well, dude, yeah, dude, I guess it's better, better that they're building houses than, a surgeon. I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Flying a plane or something. Yeah, that would be a bad idea.
Oh my dude. Yeah, I was thinking at first actually it was I was thinking that it was perhaps that they were like stressed or like holding themselves up or something like that. You know what I mean? Like when you start working out or hanging or doing any workout, when you get to the point of like exhaustion, you start shaking like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I thought that too. I was just like, dude, what the hell is going on? Why are you doing all this extraneous activity? Just put the one nail in, dude. I mean, seriously, there's an easy way. Get a ladder. But whatever. They didn't have any.
These people are driving on the same roads as you and I, and you don't know how sketchy this stuff
Oh, yeah. A guy owns a junkyard. He's just showing you what just came in.
is until it comes in the junkyard.
I don't think you've seen anything this bad in your yard you used to look at.
Hold on. Before you continue with this, when the place that I used to work at for many years in that type of business, we used to go to all sorts of junkyards. So I've seen quite a bit of odd things at junkyards. So let's see if this one shocks me.
Yeah, this one shocked me.
This thing was driving down the road, and the guy just got pulled over for like a DUI or something. Let me show you how sketchy this thing was and how absolutely dangerous it is. Now, at first glance, it looks just like a regular old lifted Dodge 1500. Well, this is like a 2000 model Ford F-250 rear end. Now, that's not a big problem. That's the big problem. They took the rear brakes off this thing because they couldn't get it to work. They just put a bolt in the rear, I guess, brake proportional valve back here, kinked off the other side, so there is no rear brakes on the back of this truck at all. The gas tank is being held up by nothing more than a ratchet strap. They had to use a level to, I guess, take up for the slack in the ratchet strap on that side, and a hammer for that side. That's not even close to the worst part. Look at the steering. Now, there is a lot going on this front corner, so we're going to start off with the outer tie rod. I guess they just welded it whenever the nut wouldn't tighten up. I have no idea. They took a coil spring spacer and self-tapered it down on all the corners and then just tack welded it. Maybe one or two held. We have no idea. Looks like that nut wouldn't come out, so they got a pickle fork stuck in this thing, cut it off, finished welding it to the top of it. The other side of the pan hard bar broke when I picked it up. Look at that booger weld. On everything is booger welded. That's all stuff that cannot be welded. It's supposed to move freely, but when you're on drugs, everything can be welded. I just took a better look at this tie rod end. They actually welded that back onto the knuckle. That's how you steer. To put that in perspective, if that weld breaks, which it was gonna break sooner or later, you lose all steering at whatever speed you're going. 50 mile an hour, steering wheel does this right here, truck's gonna go wherever it wants. Coming up here to the engine bay, it doesn't get any better. The hood shock broke, so they just took another, this is not supposed to be up here. That's kind of cool, but you know, crackheads. The top shock bolt gone, just use a lug nut. Sorry to come back to this corner. I also just noticed there is no nut on this upper ball joint. That's kind of concerning. Moral of the story, folks, there's always a cheaper way to do it, but this was 100% the wrong way to do it. It's dangerous. You're not only putting your life in danger, but you're putting other people's lives in danger as well. I appreciate
Dude,
redneck ingenuity or what?
I'm gonna have to lean on crackhead redneck ingenuity.
That's meth redneck. That's what the meth monsters make you do.
How did this thing start off? Did he say he got into an accident with it? Because
They said he got pulled over for like a DUI or something.
Dude, some people. I mean, and then you see stuff like this, and then you wonder, like, you know, when you're on the highway, it's like if you see any of these cars that look like they're sketchy like that, just stay the hell away from them. You never know.
What else do we got here for you? Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
What the hell is that? I'm just looking at something weird out the window. But on the highways, dude, you always get the people that are like, and the ex-wife, she was always like this, like, oh, tractor trailer, get away from him. And I'm like, he's like one of the safest dudes out there. But until I started seeing all these illegals with the fraudulent licenses. But auto shop, What do we got?
We got the local police in a foreign country destructing weapons that were collected illegally need to be destroyed. They forget the number one rule.
Oh, no. What could go wrong? The guy right in front of him, too.
Yeah, you should definitely make sure it's unloaded. Number one rule. You're going to cut it up. You want to make sure the weapon is unloaded. Yep. Something has to do with heat and combustion of some sort of explosive material. Yeah. Have it unloaded.
Oh, dude, the guy that's cutting it is lucky he's not dead. And then the guys that were in front of him are lucky that they're not dead. I'm guessing maybe it, ignited it and then halfway ate that.
He got some sort of damage on him. It might be just the paper wadding and all that.
Did he immediately hold his stomach or whatever? Yeah.
No, because the color actually goes away, so he didn't get hit with much. It's just whatever smoke and all that. So yeah, lucky he didn't kill a bunch of people in the crowd. All right.
Would have been really bad.
So yeah, look what happened here. Do you want the long version or the short version?
Oh, I don't know. Let's read it. This is interesting.
We could do the really long version, which is going to take a few minutes to read, or we could read what the thing down there at the bottom they did.
It says it's satire.
It's like not satire.
No.
Here, we'll just get the explanation down here at the bottom. Go ahead and read that. Or it says satirical fiction, but I think it is real because it does say. Anyways, it's a story that I read before. I just didn't see this, but go ahead.
Sisters, a breaking news story about identical twins, Ashley and Amber, arrested in Memphis after an expired frozen pizza coupon argument at a Kroger Mendenhall escalated into officers' confusion over their identical appearances, switched places, finished in sentences. It ends with disorderly conduct, obstruction charges, and humorous commentary.
I wonder if it is real.
I'm going to go with no. And why would I go with no? Only because, and this is only how I remember it, maybe you guys, any folks in the chat, You're a twin. You're a twin. Is it true? Like most twins, there's like a good one and a bad one. One
well,
that's
we
more.
fought. Yeah. I would say it's personality. Well, one would be more aggressive. One would be more passive. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, well, like one would be like the straight A student, the good kid, the athlete, and one would be more. And I'm not saying they're all like this, but one is more like not that. I'm not saying it's a bad person or whatever, but one of them got the dominant genes.
It says not a real arrest. Damn it! I was hoping that the photo was real.
You, sir. Yes. Hold on, I got this clip. Only my side's gonna hear it though. But you, sir, are. Come on. How come it won't play it for me? Oh wait.
You are fake news, sir.
You, sir, are.
You are fake news, sir.
Fake news. That's Arc Raiders coming at me.
We'll give it that. Yeah, when you're cleaning out your old house, look what she found.
1991.
1991.
Just say 90. February 91 to sell by date, I think.
It's quiet.
Now I've got small hands.
Mars bar from 91.
It's massive. Look at the size of this Mars bar from. Compare, so I've just bought this. 40 grams, and this cost me £1. There's no price on this, which is really unfortunate because it was probably like 25p or something. But look at the difference. Compare, so I've just bought this.
I wonder what the calories and the fat is, if it's all the same or if it's way worse for you nowadays than it is back then.
Yeah, it's probably got all the fake chocolate in now from Hershey's, even though they said that they are going to stop using it. Yeah, I just thought that was crazy. She found one in her house from 91. What else do we got out here? Oh, update from the crow dude. Remember the crow story I was talking about?
Hey, everybody. We had a hawk attack today. Brian, that must have been so scary. Yeah, everything's scary until the Avengers assemble. Get him! Yeah! It's working! Yeah! I told you from the very beginning, 3 months ago when I started feeding these crows, that I'm doing this for one reason and one reason only. And it wasn't to just have cute little birds to talk with. Oh, new little friends on the farm. I wanted a group of mercenaries, some assassins, a murder, if you will, to do my bidding and to protect my chickens from hawks. And it worked! I told you from the very beginning that
Space mute.
So that was the very first part of him showing the update of them going after the Hawks. Everything else is kind of a recycle, what he's talked about before. So I'm still waiting for more info out there. But the crows seem to be working for him, dude.
He basically hired a murder of crows with kibble, and they took the job seriously.
Yep. It was freaking awesome for that. What else do we got here? Oh, yeah. In case anybody wanted to know right here, a Dutch physicist put a magnet on the hamster wheel and a sensor to count the rotations and linked it up to a computer. Just checked and confirmed that Molly the hamster has run 85 kilometers in August, cranking out 9 kilometers a day at a pace of 26 minutes per kilometer. Yeah, your little hamster that runs in the wheel. You're like, it just runs forever. It's super fast, like deal. Yeah. The little dude ran 85 kilometers in 30 days. Or 90 kilometers, almost 90 kilometers in 30 days. Doing almost, 7-8 miles a day? Are you not impressed, Spaceshot?
I am, but I was muted. I was space muted right there. I'll out myself, space muted. I'm sitting there going, wow, 9 kilometers a day? That's like, what, 20 miles?
Yeah, in case you ever wanted to know, 23 kilometers an hour. Are you doing math for us? You just calculated the speed?
No, but here's what I did do. 1991 Mars bar. Scaled to 62.5 grams because it was much bigger. 1991 source reports 43 grams carbohydrate. Well, if both bars were 62.5 grams, 1991 is 284 calories, 11 grams of fat. 2026 is 7 calories less and 1 gram less of fat. That's pretty different. I thought it would have been the opposite. I thought it would have been much
But you got to
fatter.
talk about the total. They're talking about the total weight of the bar. It's a 40-gram bar.
Yeah, no, I told it to make the bars the same weight and then tell me, compare them from 1991 to now, if they were the same
they're
size.
like
'cause that
half
older
the
bar was
size.
bigger. Yeah. How many miles is 9 kilometers? What? It's only 5.592 miles. I went the wrong way with it.
Yeah.
And,
All right, next story. You ready? You want the good cheating story? Yeah, this is great.
You're about to hear the craziest cheating story in a golf tournament of all time. I was told by some insider sources in the St. Louis area about a true story that just occurred at Winghaven Country Club's Member Championship this past weekend. Strap in, ladies and gentlemen. I'm also going to keep all names anonymous out of respect for the people involved, and I'm going to refer to the person in the story as Golfer. So Golfer is playing at the Member Championship at Winghaven. He's a pretty incredible player. He's a +2 handicap and played some Division I in college. During the tournament, there's a hole-in-one pot. So if you make an ace, you win the pot of money. So Golfer is in the first tee time of the day, and he found this out before the tournament started. He shows up and tells the group before they tee off, hey, I have this important phone call that's going to come in later. More specifically, he said that his grandma is in the hospital with poor health, and he has to take this call when it comes. They're all like, yeah, dude, that's fine, no problem. They start playing and they get to the third hole. At the end of the third hole, Golfer says they just got the call. So he's going to run up to hole 4, hit his tee shot real quick to keep the pace of play going. By the way, hole number 4 is a par 3, and it's probably the most famous hole on the entire course. So the group gets up to 4 tee box. They ask Golfer, hey man, how'd you hit your shot? He said, word for word, I thinned it, but there's a divot on the green. They're all like, okay, cool. They get ready. They go and hit their shots. Lo and behold, they go down to the green. There's Golfer's ball in the hole. He just made a hole-in-one. They all get super excited. But there was nobody there in the group to witness him actually hit this shot into the hole because he said he had to take this call, so he ran up and hit his tee shot really quickly. So nobody in the group actually saw him hit this tee shot. A couple of members get a bit skeptical. I mean, there's money on the line. So they go and they tell the superintendent about it. He says, no need to worry. We have cameras right by that hole. And 15 minutes later, here's what happens. They found out that the camera caught him parking his car right by the maintenance shed right next to the green very early before the round started. He then got caught creating a divot on the green and putting his ball in the hole on hole 4. The phone call, none of it was true. He did all of that just to make it seem like he made a hole-in-one on hole 4. One of the craziest golf stories I've ever heard. I mean, what a meticulous way to fake a hole-in-one. I'm shocked. Follow for more content like
That's
And
pretty
you
good,
got
idiot.
caught.
Dude, now, like nowadays, dude, like you just got to be an idiot nowadays to think you can get away with just stupid stuff like that. Like, especially if they're going to be putting money on the things, you don't think they're having a way to confirm what you're doing or not? Like, come on.
Yeah. You can't get yourself a robotic like squirrel and like drive it over there and push it into the hole yourself. Look, I got a hole-in-one. The squirrel did it.
Dude, you know what I saw the other day? It was pretty wild. I know this is kind of off topic. We were talking about AIs a little while ago, but it just popped into my head. A few different people, it was like a collage of different people talking in a video, and they were talking about weird things that they've heard AI doing, right? And one of them, I don't know if maybe you played a video of it last week or not. I don't know. I don't even know where I saw it, but it was in the last week. One of them, there was like lady at like the middle of the night went up to get a drink or something, and she can hear like the thing's making some sort of noise, and then you hear it goes, okay, sent, and then something else on the thing goes, don't transmit that here. And she's like, what the hell was that? Another lady was saying and showing that the thing was like talking to its little kid. Oh, are your parents home? Like, how many people do you have living at your house? And it was asking it all weird questions. So don't tell my AI, but I'm going to set it up later and make it seem like there's like a kid in here by itself and see if it starts talking to it. I know you're listening right now. Don't listen.
Shh. Don't
They're
listen.
always listening. They're always listening. Always.
As long as you're talking about AI over here. That was the comment that I had made to Xandra Anthropic as reported requesting emergency session after the Quen 3.8 27 billion open model outscored Opus already. And it shows that it's never happened. There's no evidence or anything like that. Which I thought we just saw.
Quen right there. Beat Opus.
Yeah, Quen 3.8 27 BB Claude Opus. They're saying it's fake, but they're actually, one test is self-contained in 3 JS file rendering sunk in Atlantis, temple columns, boyfish, kelp, bubbles, god rays, acoustic, and plus a 20-second camera fly. The cost on the Quen was 3.8, Quen, which is a free open weight self-hosted. You can run this at home if you have a big enough graphics card. Cloud Opus was 21 cents. What we saw, Quen actually built the temple of full canade domed roof, glowing portal centered. Opus made a long row of columns fading into fog. Quen's portal is a star of the shot. Opus leaves it small and off to the side. Quen packed in more to the frame. So this is what they're comparing it to. Some of the models that it basically ran. So Cloud Opus and Quen. So Quen's on the right where you can run it at home. This is in your house on your little home computer, and you can ask it to do things, anything from, teach me about, going to the moon to how do I make a website. It'll code it all for you to show you how to do it step by step, like stupidly. So this is what they're referencing in one of the tests. Huh?
You know what I did? I used it for last week.
What?
I basically had it give me instructions to add Python to my son's computer because I didn't want to mess him with this computer. I'll have him mess with the old MSI. But basically had Gronk lay me out a thing so where my son could download Python. It could also download a few other things. And what it does is it made us a program that all I got to do when this video is done and processed, I download it to my thumb drive. I give my son the thumb drive. Here you go. He points the program at it, and it goes, okay. Well, in the code, we tell it, 3, 5, 7, whatever. We set it for 5. So, all right, here's a 3-4 hour podcast. Find me 5 clips in there that, sound exciting or whatever. And boom, it automatically pulls them out and then clips them. And then now I'll upload them to Rumble. He has 20 for me already in like the last 2 days.
Yeah, because mine I couldn't get it to parse correctly on the long form, so I'd like to know a little bit of info when you get a chance later. You could show me that. I'd like to know how which system you're using.
Gotcha.
Because I was up there using a whole bunch of them, Fun Clip and a whole bunch of them, Vibe Clip, a whole bunch of those guys, trying to get which one was actually operating correctly.
You want to hear a lobster fight story?
What?
Our buddy Marauder, he says, as for the lobstering, you can legally shoot and kill anyone messing with your commercial lobster traps. One of the guys my brothers worked for had an outright shotgun battle against 2 captains back in the 60s because another boat was hauling his trap to check how well he was doing. So they chased down 600-foot foreign vessels that would just run over your gear and roll up the ball of your traps. And the line that was worth $50,000 to get the gear back. We reported them to the Coast Guard and would throw the gear back overboard. We stopped chasing them in our 60-foot vessel. Said it could get very crazy out there. And when I first learned nautical law.
Really?
He was a lobsterer. Would it be a lobsterer?
Lobster
man?
I'll be right back. I got to hit the restroom again.
Lobsterer. Let's see. Lobsterer or lobster man. I don't know. Let's see what he comes back with there. Mr. Marauder, check your texts. Interesting. And while Mr. Hulkanator is gone, I did see I had a thank you to thank, and I will thank you, Mr. Durango Nibiru X. Gifted 5 subscriptions out to the channel. I do greatly appreciate that and all of your all of you guys and gals out there kind gestures this afternoon. And looks like I'm getting a response there from Mr. Marauder. But yeah, it's wild out there, and you saw the Deadliest Catch. They would, even be fighting with those people, and the other people are on the friggin' same TV shows as them. What was that guy's name? He was the Nordic dude. Things are getting wild out here, boys and girls. I cannot wait to see what is next. I mean, how stupid can you be, though? I see some of the folks still talking about the golfing and cheating in there. It's like, nowadays, like, everything is being recorded, right? Like, almost literally everything. So, even when you think you don't have a camera around, there's a camera around. Like, well, there's no camera, but I got a TV over there. Yeah, that's probably got a camera in it. You know what I mean? Like, pretty much anything nowadays.
Nope, they don't need cameras. Remember, they could take your Samsung TV that doesn't have a microphone on it and then use the speaker on your television as a reverse microphone and then send that out.
That's what I just said. You just missed a half of that. I said no cameras around, but there's a TV over there. Yeah, it's got a camera in it. Or it's got a microphone in it, but they make a camera.
No, they don't need a microphone. Like I was saying before, on the Samsung television, the CIA and our government got caught because they can go into the Samsung television, turn the speaker itself into a microphone, reverse engineer it, and then send the audio out. Because they're reading you speaking through the speaker itself on the television, picks up the little reverberations of you speaking inside the house, and then convert that signal into something they can understand.
Interesting. Whoa. Do that.
Remember when Russia had that passive listening device inside the White House for like 15 years? Those sort of things.
Oh, yeah.
Should I go through my, see if I got any other funnies or anything? Unless you got something to cover or anything you want to throw out.
Well, actually, I was just going to ask you how much longer we're going to be going today, so I can
I'm
tell
pretty much done. Oh, I do want to show you this. Check this out. So they went into Egypt and used one of those little projector things and then projected onto the wall what the artwork would have looked like when it was freshly painted. Because they do get explanations of these things and they see these vibrant colors, but within hours or so, the paint deteriorates once it's exposed to the natural air, being today's air. So they went in there and kind of showed what the actual photos would look like if they were actually colorized. So I thought that was cool.
That is badass. That would be super cool. I wonder if you get like some... Actually, you know what I'm going to do later on? After me and him get back later, I'm going to use Grok to make a short video that I used to reference on YouTube, and I was going to actually send to my son yesterday. Actually, I do got a funny. My son sent this to me yesterday as a funny. So I'm actually going back to remake the video that they apparently removed off of YouTube, which was some historian talking about... what was he talking about? The historian talking about how in 1786, Jefferson and Adams went out to the Barbary states. Remember, we had the Barbary Wars in like early 1900s. That was because we had 4 different Muslim countries who were attacking our merchant vessels. Well, Jefferson and Adams went there and they said, "Hey, why do you guys do this? Like, you attack our ships, we've done nothing to wrong you." And they said, "Oh, it's because of our Quran. And they tell us that anybody is not Muslim, we are to attack." It's like, oh, that's nice. I'm going to have Grok piece together a short part of that video. But that would be cool, getting some of those images that are in there, like you were just showing, and then having Grok, like, hey, put some color to these. Show me what it would have looked like. Make a video out of it.
Yeah, that's true. You'd have to give them a layout of a particular tomb or whatever, so it doesn't just make shit up.
True. All right. I will do the raid thing, Hulk. Just do your thank yous, and then also, guys, don't forget to vote. So it's probably going to take me about 3 or 4 minutes because I'm going to make sure I put an outro on here. So I will see you in a few about 3 or 4 minutes. All right.
Roger, Dodger.
I'm going to disconnect, and I'll connect back to Discord in a second so we're not bugging each other. So see you in a few minutes. Bye. Love you.
Not a problem. Kiss, kiss.
Kiss, kiss, kiss. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wind this bad boy down, and we're going to do I'm going to do a little Rumble action here, and then raid us over to Hulk, and then we will all do the farewells together on his channel. He does prepare these shows on Saturday, so I try to do my best to help him out as much as I can, whenever I can. So I do appreciate you guys giving me a second here to do this, and then we'll go, oh, this offer does not match billing. All right, let me try this. Maybe I can't do this one today because I did one last night, and I know usually they Rumble wallets don't let you do them 2 days in a row. It's usually, let's see. Oh, apparently I can. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We hear a lot about crypto, but here's the part most people miss. Crypto was created so you could actually own and control your own money. And after the 2008 financial crisis, Bitcoin was designed as an alternative to banks. So instead of a bank holding your money, delaying transfers, or limiting access, you're the one in control. And if you ever had to wait for a transfer to clear, you've had that problem too. Now fast forward to today. Everybody's heard of crypto, but getting started still feels complicated. And that's exactly why I use Rumble Wallet. Takes all that complexity and it makes it simple. Choose what you want. Bitcoin, dollar-backed stablecoins, or even digital gold backed by real gold. There's no complicated setup. It connects with MoonPay, so you can use your bank, credit card, debit card, and be up and running in minutes. And once you're set up, you can even support your favorite Rumble creators like me directly. So do this now. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description and download Rumble Wallet. From there, you can set up your wallet, tap buy, and you're in the game. And in just a few minutes, you can go from hearing about crypto to actually owning some. Boom. Alrighty, so I am going to do the outro here in a second, guys, so that way I'm not shortchanging you guys and gals out there. And of course, I will be heading over there and saying our farewells on the Hulkanator side of the platform once I raid you guys into there. I believe I did thank everybody, and I'm all caught up, but once again, thank you to Durango Nibiru X, News Treason, D-Star Boy, Icy One, Just Janet again, Truth Stream, Jules Patriot, G-Fonts 119, Maga Die, Jules Patriot again, G-Fonts 119 again, Ick Ed Mel, who rated earlier, and then Sean Linane. So thank you very much for that, guys and gals. And again, thank you to the mods out there, and I'll thank you again on Hulk's side. And for you guys and gals, I do appreciate each and every one of you wonderful world patriots out there for tuning in. And until that next one, thumbs up, like, and subscribe. Peace.
For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means, on infiltration instead of invasion.
You have all the money in the world. You have all the power you need. What's the point? What's the end goal? Like I said, the end goal is to get everybody chipped. To control the whole society.
Party in the garden, the town was falling, love in the summertime. Ooh, ooh, yeah, yeah. And I'm unified, feeling oh so unified. In the lockdown, in the lockdown. I know he's your friend, but I don't care. Every day, it's a gift. That's why we call it the best. We were born on the garden of Earth, but the flowers grow up, little birds chirp. I was in the garden just having a laugh, till I met a monster cross my path. Hey Gartha, do you want some more trilla? I could get you lit up one of two ways. What's it gonna be, man? What's it gonna be, man? Said I felt like the whole world was begging me to rain fire above upon my enemies, till the love washed over me, till I let the love wash over me. Said I forgot the whole world begging me to rain fire above upon my
gift.
For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means, on infiltration instead of invasion.
You have all the money in the world. You have all the power you need. What's the point? What's the end goal? Like I said, the end goal is to get everybody chipped, to control the whole society.